What? Oh, the year was 1778. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. A letter of marque came from the king to the scummiest vessel I've ever seen. God damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier. The last of Barrett's privateers. It's Christmas time. Welcome, everyone.
That's probably
No,
one of
that's
the awkward concerts
that
I've ever had to listen to.
Whoa, that was good.
Okay.
All right,
Okay,
I
get in
have
here.
both
Get in
my
here.
I have both my
So
my
fun, so fun,
headphones are
so
set to
funny.
noise canceling. I can hear zero outside my brain. I could feel that I killed that. Rookie, that was my rendition of Barrett's Privateers by Stan Rogers, which is like the last of what would be considered, I guess, sea shanties really ever written in popular media. It was released in 1976. Stan Rogers was a notable Canadian folk musician and songwriter. And he had if you go listen to it on Spotify after this is done, not right now, you stay here right now, but you listen to Stan Rogers later, he's got a really good voice. It's that's like one of my favorite songs. In the distant past, in my lore, I used to be a sea cadet in Canada, and we would go off to the West Coast. No, he died. He was old. Um, don't accuse me of killing him. He died well before I was born. But when I was a sea cadet, I used to work in the boat shed, so we did like on-water training for 12 to 16-year-old course cadets. And the boat shed boys every year would do like some weird bit, and the 2 years that I worked on the boat shed, our bit was like we would just hang out on the beach on weekends and we would sing terribly. And one year, my last year, we had to do that at the mess dinner, and we sang Barrett's Privateers at the mess dinner. There was about 15 of us, and it was beautiful. It's a memory I'll take to my grave. But yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. It's nice to have you all
Merry
here.
Christmas, everyone.
Merry
Crisis. Oh,
Happy
do you want to say that again?
Merry Christmas.
Hey, we have so much to talk about and so little brain cells to remember what we were going to talk about. I'm just going to speed rounds pull back up the list I had from last week. And so last week we covered some WWE news. We talked about
Just
Warfare.
catch up on me.
Being bad with
See?
technology. Beating the Mind Flayer senseless. The weather.
Flogging
the Mind Flayer. But there's been breaking news since last week. Multiple people have died. I mean, thousands of people die every day. That's just like the way world work. But big deaths, many sad. R.I.P. to the greatest Greg Biffle.
Big deaths, many
Greg
sad.
Biffle
Hold on. Don't worry about the game
Greg
sound
Biffle
on the
died
stream. I am fixing that.
last week
Right.
in a plane accident in Statesville, North Carolina. Gamer Grandma died literally today. Vince
Where's the
Zampella,
sound?
who is most notably
It's
one
coming.
of the main figureheads for pretty much every Call of Duty pre-Black Ops 3 that came out.
I'm gonna use
And-
this controller.
Yes, honey.
And
And
I
the
like
later,
my blue
the
controller.
Battlefield
Uncle Chris is
Studios
talking, just let
head,
him talk.
It
Vince
lights up a
Zampella,
lot.
died yesterday. At
So when
55
you
in a car
find me,
accident.
I'll just light the controller
Bad week. Bad week
Chris
for
is talking,
gamers.
just let him
Bad
talk.
week for motorsports
I'll
fans.
just when I find the enemy.
But it's okay, because fucking The
No,
Witch is almost
you have
dead,
to
dude.
go-
2025
we
is
have
on its
to
way
go
out the door.
to this world.
We're so
now.
close.
Honey,
If
'Cause I want
everybody that's
to
here
go
just
to
hangs it on for
the
7
next
more days,
world.
8, 9 more
Please.
days.
these are the same
We're
games.
in the clear.
Just this one we
26.
didn't finish. We finished this one
Yeah.
instead.
But can we do this one now? Number
26 will be so much
two.
better,
Yeah,
probably.
Where's that director's cut of Robert M. Weird?
I wish I could be number 3,
Yeah.
number 4
It's
next.
gonna be my
I wish I
year.
could be number 2, number 3, number 4.
Donner talking and Chris
Wish I
talking about
could
the
be
future. Yeah,
these
thanks,
three.
Ricky. And
But
Deb.
I like being these
Um,
two.
I almost
best.
died yesterday,
I'll,
actually.
I'll
I might not
do
believe in God, but boy, if
He
I talk to him
survived
for
blue
a
again.
and
minute.
red pirate.
Yeah. So
Or no.
recently I went on a work road
I
trip,
will
as Will's like vaguely aware because you and I were
Weeby,
talking about it a
do your
little bit.
favorite one.
Hey,
Hi,
Steph.
Steph.
Weeby,
So
your
I went
favorite one
Okay.
day.
I went from Saskatoon to
Yoo-hoo!
Winnipeg, Canada, which is about a 9-hour drive
Lava. I hate lava,
to
actually.
pick up some equipment that I'd sold
Oh my,
and bring it back.
my thing.
And I got delayed in Winnipeg, Canada, because I couldn't find that fuck ass
Stephanie
animal
said hello.
shelter.
Hello.
I did actually look for it a little bit. You gonna leave your stream library too? Am I in your
actually
will?
moving you.
Bro, you don't want either of our libraries. Actually, you might want Will's.
You got
Will's is pretty
0
good.
things.
There's a lot of stuff in there.
Okay, dude, you still have more games than I do. What are all your
Yeah,
games?
but-
Fucking softcore?
No.
No,
I
'cause
haven't bought
the only-
Sunsiders yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only person I know of that has that shit is Rookie. We're looking at you, my guy.
So,
Oh, rocket.
anyways,
Let's
I
go
went to
this
Winnipeg
rocket,
on Sunday.
Silly.
I have some family there. I stayed with them. It was all like cash money and cool.
We got space.
9-hour drive there.
Let's
Cash
get.
money.
Let me do it.
I get to the office in Winnipeg yesterday morning
You
at
got 0.
7:30, which is
Oh.
half an hour before they open. I
We
get
got
in.
both.
Now, the last time I did this trip,
I'll get
I
my
got
own.
delayed in Winnipeg for
I'll
3
race
days
you.
because the
I got
stuff
it.
that I went to
Now
pick
where
up
are
was
our
not
cards?
finished. It wasn't ready to go yet. So I was like, they told
Is
me
it
it was
ready
ready to go
yet?
2 weeks ago. We're golden.
Oh, we need
I'm gonna
the
drive
top,
out there.
maybe.
Yeah, but sometimes
I'm gonna
move towards
Load the
trees.
truck up. I'm gonna hit the road for home. Steph's dead
Maybe
right.
it's a secret
She does look a lot
that
like
tells
Will.
us?
And then
Hey, you're
I
hitting
get to
me.
the office and I walk in the back and I'm talking to the guys that do all of like the fabrication work for our Winnipeg office. And they look at me, they go, "Hey, what are you doing here?" Hold on. Is that better, Rookie? Am I coming to you live in 4K? Hold on.
I'll
I
pick
might have
this
to change
one.
a setting in Windows. Sound.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Let me get that.
I see that.
Where
Yes.
are you?
A lot of people say the same thing about her as well.
I'll get all of these in the whole thing. There we go.
All right.
It's ready.
What the fuck just happened with Rookie? Man just went into Oppenheimer equation mode.
Turn yourself down.
Okay, then.
By
Look.
the way, I have Waters on his phone's screen.
Listen, you
And
leave
ZXT and type right.
you leave the
Monster
alphabet
on
out of math, my good sir.
Yeah, that was where it all went wrong. When they started putting the letter shit in the number stuff.
I
So
had
anyways.
no problem when it was the letters.
Yeah. So anyways, I went to Winnipeg.
My favorite
Recently.
thing.
Was there yesterday.
Next one.
I could tell it's not great,
This
buddy.
is not even ready
You
anymore.
should
How
drive
did
your
that
phone screen
crash?
off.
Well,
Sorry.
it's okay.
Stop using your phone in the shower. That's got to
Oh,
be the
battery.
only reason why this is
Dude,
happening.
there's other ways you can
Hey,
watch
let me
Pornhub,
do
my
that.
guy. Like,
Let me do that. Hey,
So
I have lots. I'm fine.
quick, everybody beat him while he's down.
everybody kick him. Everybody kick him. So the equipment is not ready.
Right.
I've got to wait. 4 hours go by. This is 8 o'clock in the morning. They're like, we're not ready yet. 12 o'clock at middle of the day. They're like, hey, we're loading you up. We're getting you out of here. It's ready to go. Sweet. I've been working on it during this time. I've been like thrashing to get it done. Well, they're all kind of standing
have no
around. And
money.
I'm like, all right, sweet. We loaded my truck. I hit the highway.
we
And this
get
is where
any?
the first
Yeah, we got 4.
funny ha-ha of my drive home happens. I get 20 minutes from the Winnipeg shop. And the install foreman, who's also
Can you
like
get some
our
more?
shop foreman, who
There.
oversees all of the fabrication work, he calls me on my phone, which isn't unusual.
Right.
And he goes, yeah, hey, can you do me a favor? Like, what's up? He goes, can you send me a picture
Wait a
of
second.
the
Watch out for a
low
shark.
pressure panel
See?
that you took with you? Think the one that I posted in the Threads forum chat last week. And then, like, this one's a little different.
Done.
So I was like, yeah,
Got
sure.
for-
So I pull into a parking lot off the highway.
I'm going.
I put the truck in park, seatbelt off, twist around. I pull it up so I can take a
I
complete
guess
picture
we're
of
gonna
it.
do this.
I take a picture. The panel's upside down.
Get the fire one.
But if anybody
you.
knows anything about technology, you know that you can edit a photo and then rotate it. And I was like, yeah, it'll be fine. It's a picture. That's all he wanted. I
Right.
sent it to him. Back in the seat, seatbelt back on.
Yeah,
Put the truck
help.
back in drive. Back down the highway.
Thank you, Blue.
5 minutes after I send this picture,
I got
Blue.
it.
5 minutes after I send this fucking picture,
I'll get
I get a text from him.
running.
And I will read this text message verbatim for the audience
Thank you,
present,
Blue.
because
Thank
you know
you,
what?
Blue.
This guy deserves to be put on blast.
Jesus, it was that bad, eh?
Sorry, can you turn right side up when you have a chance, please? I can't
money.
send that to Doug.
that
He will
money
bitch
for
me out,
that?
lol. Now I'm gonna send a
Gold.
screenshot.
I got some gold
I'll
now.
crop his name out of it to protect his privacy, although he should be doxxed. It would be funnier if he was doxxed.
Hey, let me get the
So-
sword.
Okay, I'm good.
I'll save that.
I love
And
enemies
then
come. What
I
if
will put a
enemies
cross
It's fine. It's
come?
Of
fine.
the
But
so
I hate enemies.
because I sent this in
See,
message
I
in
hate
my
those
messages,
Three.
Right.
it didn't save the photo to my camera roll. So I'm driving. I have my
Oops.
phone in my hand.
Right.
So I'm trying to find this picture by looking at it from like a 90-degree angle out of my peripheral,
Right.
and I can't find it. So I go back into my texts, I save the photo, I have to go back to my camera roll, hit the edit button, hit the rotate 90 twice
Get
to
rotated.
rotate
idiot.
it 180 degrees around, and then I have to save it as a copy because I think this
Watch
is
out.
funny as fuck. And then I send it to him, and I send him the
Yeah, be
picture of
careful.
it flipped 180 degrees and
Yeah,
go,
you can't
is that
fight him.
better?
Yes.
To which I get, yes,
I'm
thank
telling
you,
you,
and a
kid.
thumbs up.
I know.
Okay.
This man couldn't figure out how to rotate a photo 180 degrees in his phone. He
Oh.
programs our virtual point of sale systems for us. He is, at this point, one of the 3 most technologically capable people
At the
in
company.
that office.
Oh.
In the Winnipeg office of the company, and he
Mine,
could not
mine,
figure
mine,
that out. And I remembered all of the times in the last 6 months where I've made the joke,
Ooh,
I'm pretty sure
pickaxe.
Ryan's going to lose his job because he's not very good at it. And this is the fullest
What we need
coming to
diamonds.
fruition moment I've ever received, which was just like that interaction.
Oh.
And then I continued my drive. Canadian
Else
winter, down the
better.
highway. It
We're-
was bad at stints, and then I hit the Saskatchewan border, and it went terrible. Like, I was supposed to be back at 9 o'clock last night. Half an hour outside of Yorkton, there's a car accident on the highway. I got stuck on the highway for an hour.
Hmm.
Yeah. Full hour. Stuck. Just sitting there, wishing I had cigarettes or something to pass the time.
Something
Like,
to ease the
anything.
stress.
Then get the box.
Yes, I will get
So,
the box. We're playing My
Traffic
Little
finally gets
Universe,
moving
Stephanie.
Finally get moving again. And hours
Pretty funny.
pass, and it's like, it's snowy,
Just say
it's
it's pretty
blowy.
funny, Daddy.
Every time
sometimes.
somebody's coming the other way, it's just this giant cloud of white shit
I'm
that just
switch
obstructs your
characters.
view completely.
Oh,
Like, I want to
I
die.
see you.
And then a trucker apparently heard me say that.
Which one is it?
We
Is
get,
it this one?
Change characters.
Oh,
we
yeah,
get
yeah.
50
I'll
kilometers
be-
to where the highway goes from being single-laned each way back to
Dinosaur.
double-lane
You have to be a
split.
dinosaur too.
Right.
And this semi
We're
comes
dinosaurs.
flying out from the highway truck behind me with a Super Bee on it. It comes out around, and I watch it pass. And I'm like, okay, well, there's not enough room between the truck behind me and the truck in front of me for him to slide in. I can see the truck behind me started slowing down. So I'll turn my cruise control off. I'll slow down. He'll cut in front of me because clearly he's fucking flying. And I look over into my mirror as my cruise control's shutting down, and I see the headlight of his truck 1.5 feet off my box. Like right there. And I shit myself. I'm like, I see that and I'm like, oh fuck, like forget the fact that I've got 3,000 pounds worth of equipment in the box of the truck. Like that doesn't matter anymore.
Now it's
On
about
gas.
survival.
Now we're cooking with gas, brother. I'm at it. Go like aim myself at the ditch. Just to like get out of his way as fast as I can. This dude does not slow down. He doesn't stop. He saw me slowing down. He slowed down, and then he just immediately cut over into the lane. I was right there.
Yeah.
Now, I couldn't hear the Bollywood blasting, but I'm confident that's what was happening.
Yeah. Must have been that favorable Christmas song for this time of year.
We're getting some. We're getting it down.
So, I get out of his way.
A forest?
I've had my chat with God.
Hey, look what I found. That.
God being the God Emperor of mankind. Don't get it twisted. I'm not a heretic. And
stuck in the
I
groove.
get back in the
There's
lane and I
only
set
one
my cruise
God.
control again. I set my
Huh?
cruise control
Treasure?
faster than it was
No.
before because I've noticed this dude's keeping pace with me, which is impressive because he's got a loaded Super Bee with twin 53s on it.
Right. He should not
Like,
be
this
keeping
dude
pace
is-
with you.
This
I
dude
want
is
some
carrying
diamonds.
150,000 pounds down the highway at like lethal speeds.
Aw.
And it's the conditions
He'll come
are
back. He'll come back.
not here for it. Like it's not like we're in the middle of summer, right?
Right.
You've been on the roads. It's
Right.
black ice. It's blowing snow.
That
You
space
can't
suit.
see the lane
Then we
half
get
the time.
stars.
So I'm like, whatever. Like I'll just set the cruise to
I'll find the
105. It's
star
100
daddy.
here. I think he's doing
Let's
100,
get the
so we should be fine.
stars.
No,
Yeah.
he's on my bumper.
I guess we'll get
Like
stars,
on
Daddy.
my bumper the whole time. The second he has an inkling of a
I'm not
chance,
fighting the
he
enemies,
goes to
okay?
swing out, and I watch
Oh.
as the truck with the B train starts to swing out, and I see lights coming the other way, and he swings back just about ditches it. And
Ah,
I'm like,
run!
fuck, somebody's dying tonight.
Thank
And
you,
I hope it's
Daddy.
him. I do. That man
Yeah, I'm
deserves
pretty
it.
stuck.
Some lessons are only learned once, the last time. Like,
Yep.
like what is this fucker
I
doing?
got
What,
one.
see a revolution?
So finally, he gets past me, he fucks off, we're good. And then
Oh,
it's
they're
just like
keys.
pickup trucks, similar to me, and we're good. And I make it the rest of the way. I got back the rest of the way safe, which
Right.
was good.
Yes.
Stressful,
You got a
admittedly.
sword.
But good.
Mark Thompson narrating a Star Wars audiobook carried a lot of weight on that one. But
Did we got
I
any
got to the
yet?
shop here in Saskatoon at 10
Yeah,
o'clock last
Should
night.
have enough to do
I
all
had the
that.
truck unloaded and was leaving to the gas station at 10:20. I got home at 11
Ooh,
and I went fucking
sand.
straight to bed. Like my adrenaline reserve
We're half the
lasted
whole
from 8
world
o'clock
done
at night
soon.
all the way to 11, and I got home and I like sat down on my bed, and my roommates were like, "Yeah, you gonna come play a game real quick before you go to bed for the night?" And I went, "Yeah, sure." And I just kind of like laid down and passed out. That was it. I woke up this morning at 8.
Yep.
If we get a
And then
star,
I-
we win.
So I woke up at 8, and I told my boss when I got back last night. And so I sent him a message this morning. So I'm like, "Ah, shit, I slept in. Like, fuck. Like, hey, I just woke up. We'll be late." And he goes, and the response I got from him had nothing to do with anything. Let's read that one for posterity. I have Darren coming in for 10. Darren's our casual worker.
Right.
And I'm like, "Okay, well, that has nothing to do with me being late. Like, it's my day job."
Yeah, thanks,
It's
boss.
not like he's gonna. It's not like he's gonna replace me. He's retired and a millionaire. He doesn't need my job. So I sprint across town. I get there 8:30. I walk through the door, and my boss looks at me and goes, "How the fuck did you get here so early? And why would you get here so early? You should have just got back to bed, dude." I went, "What are you talking about? I work here full time." And he goes, "Yeah, and you got back at 10
Why
o'clock
can't you
last night."
jump?
I don't care. What
I
time I
don't
got
give
back
a
last
fuck.
night? It's a Tuesday. It's a work day.
This one.
We've got
Okay.
stuff to do.
You get the strong one.
And so, yeah, that was the funniest shit was just this morning. Was him looking at me like, why the fuck are you here so early? Because it's my job to be here this early. Like,
Yep,
because I'm supposed to be. It was,
I am working.
the last 2 days have been really funny for me, except
Get out
for
of
the
there.
fact
Get out
that
of
I made the joke to my aunt when I was
It's
telling
not
her the
home.
story of the last time I picked an equipment package up in Winnipeg.
Back up, back up.
And I got stuck there for 3 days because it wasn't done. And I was like, yeah, but this time it should be ready to go because they told me it was 2 weeks ago. Last time they told me it was ready to go, and I left the next day. So
Yeah,
they've had more than enough time if they were
I'm
lying
trying to get
to
him to
fix
play,
it.
but he's not.
I
Yeah.
am a dedicated employee, rookie. Much to my own detriment, admittedly.
Thank you. He's helping.
And
Daddy,
so,
he was helping.
Yes, he was.
and so yeah,
'Cause
that's
that was a good
the last
one.
2 days have been.
Daddy,
And then I
he
saw
was
yesterday that Vince
helping.
Sampella died
That was a good
on my way back in a car
idea.
accident while I was driving, and I was just like, man,
So where then?
For those of
That
them
could
that
be
don't
me.
know,
And then it
tell
almost
them
was.
who the man is, Chris.
Down.
I did.
Down.
Oh, okay.
You just weren't listening.
No, I wasn't.
Because
Because, who
Man.
listens to this guy?
Watch. Do you remember when
Yeah,
Bird
sure.
was like this?
no, don't
He
listen
could
to me.
grab
I know
Bird.
nothing. I'm basically Jon Snow. I live
Yep.
in a similar climate too, so it just
You-
checks out.
Let's
You
go
were warned
digging.
and you did not listen.
Huh?
So yeah,
Stop.
that's been my
We got
last
Star.
couple of days. What'd you get up to today, Will?
We have to get all the stars we get.
Tell
I-
the people at home.
I racked my poor fingers for 5 solid hours to put together 2 massive Star Wars Lego sets, while I borrowed the Mind Flare from Chris and decided to ping it back and forth with Tony today. My fingers hurt. They're raw. Don't feel great. Hour 1, Tony was already down for the count with his carpal tunnel, so spent the rest of the time making me hot chocolate and a steady stream of snacks while I made the rest of it. But made a 430 piece Acclamator class starship, and then
Star Destroyer.
the box actually says starship, but because it wasn't a Star Destroyer, it's an Acclamator. Don't look at me like that. Acclamator was
Agreed.
part
We'll
of the
agree to
Clone
disagree.
Wars, not.
We're working and digging.
But
Dun 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 dun.
so that we
dun.
did that in 2.5 hours. Started
They
at
didn't.
12:30, and finished that at about 2:45. We looked at it, knew we needed to be done before 5. We looked at the Executor class, Darth Vader's starship from Return of the Jedi,
Thank you.
and we're like, well, fuck, we have 2 hours to get this shit done, and it's 630 pieces. Okay, let's open her up. We opened it up, and we got to work, and yeah, Tony petered out about halfway through, and I made the mistake of standing up because at this point I had been
They
sitting
get
for about 4.5
some
hours
more.
straight without moving
They
a
get
muscle.
some more of that.
I stood up, bashed the back of my head off of their low-hanging chandelier, proceeded to drop back down onto the table. Thankfully, we didn't lose any pieces, but it was like a series of events because I stood up, bang, crash, snap, crackle, pop, as all my joints that were stiff cracked all at once. I literally slinked
Snap.
back onto my chair like a worm,
Bang,
and
snap,
Tony just looked
crackle,
at me
crack.
with a look of like I'm both impressed but worried at the same time. And I looked at him. I was like, just keep going. Don't worry
Daddy,
about it.
enemy.
To which his response was, I can't. And I asked him why, and he
Daddy?
said, my fingers are crampy.
Thank
And I
you.
look, and his carpal tunnel has his hands like this. And I was like, oh no. So he fed me a cookie, gave me a fresh cup of hot chocolate, and I got my ass back to work. I was working for fucking pennies today.
I'm diving some more diamonds. I'm gonna go back.
You were
Finished
getting
right at 5
snacks.
o'clock. Finished right at 5 o'clock.
They come
Yep.
quick. They
Nice.
come quick.
I mean, yeah, working for snacks.
Come.
How much does an elephant consider a peanut a snack?
Hey, it's gonna go back.
Yeah, fair enough. You know what? I see what you're saying. I get it. I'm picking up your drift.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember how I was gonna segue that into anything else.
Don't try. It's the tangent. We don't need to segue nothing. Just fucking do it. Pussy.
So, anyways, Formula One season finished a while ago.
Puss in Boots.
I want to talk about it, and
Yes,
I hope
you're
you
right,
guys want
Puss
to
in
listen
Boots.
about it. I am also. That's pretty rad, Rookie, playing modded classic Battlefront 2, with your dad.
What else to get more diamonds?
My dad was a gamer
Daddy,
back in
wait
the
for
day.
me.
The lore on Old Grandpa Steve, which is what my friends all call
Daddy?
him because he's a grandpa now. And that might have been the greatest day of his life when my brother gave him a grandson. But Grandpa Steve has historically beaten the first 2 Halos on
This one.
Legendary,
What guy
and
got?
I think he's actually finished the 3rd one on Legendary as well. That's my dear old dad's historic claim to
Yep.
fame. I've lassoed the first game
They were right
one
here.
time. That's hell.
Mommy,
Let me
why
tell
won't
you,
you care
never lasso a Halo game. Not if you want to keep enjoying them
Boss?
forever. If you don't, oh, by the way, if you are unaware of what a lasso run is, it's Legendary all skulls on. All skulls. Not like I'm not using Mythic because I want to make it past the first area. Like all. It sucks. But the Formula One season is concluded, and I think the last time we talked about Formula One was before Singapore, and that was a real
Daddy,
turning
I
point
need
in
you
the
for
season.
Yeah, I believe it was.
So I'll just wrap the season up real quick, like, because I don't feel like nobody wants to listen to me talk about it for 3 hours straight, and we like having viewership numbers. So
Yeah, now that we're getting paid,
I
we
know
have
our
to be
audience.
professional.
Yeah, we have to be professional. So the Formula One season for 2025 has officially come to a close. I'd like to first off
Hey, get him.
congratulate Lando Norris on his win of the World Drivers' Championship and McLaren for
Hey,
taking the
don't.
constructors
He's
for their second year in a
poisonous.
row. You know, fair play to them. I wanted Max to win the Drivers' Championship. He lost it by literally 2 points. And that's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. I lost $100
No,
on that bet this
Daddy,
year,
be careful.
which was actually tragic
Let me
because
go
it
on
was the last half of the season from
No, let me
Singapore
go
on
this.
was probably the most entertaining championship
Yeah,
battle I think
I
we've
got
gotten
this.
since
Let me get it
2021
first.
with Lewis and Max, and
Yeah,
2016
you get
with
first.
Nico and Lewis.
You
before
get
that.
first. I'll
Right,
let
like-
you win.
Lewis and Max, it came down to the last race, and they
Mhm.
were dead even
Yeah,
on points.
I win. Are
Nico
you
and
free?
Lewis
I win.
wrapped up at the second last race of the year, which was Abu Dhabi.
Right.
There was 5 points between them at the end
We
of the
need the
race, and there was
last
just
star,
no way
okay?
mathematically for Lewis to come back
Mhm.
because they
We're
reworked the point
working
system
dinosaurs.
the year after
bum,
that.
Bum, bum, bum,
So, like,
bum.
From an entertainment standpoint, if you like the storylines of a sport, which is something that like I know you like because you watch wrestling, and
Right,
wrestling is
yep.
all about storylines.
Right.
I think the storylines for this year were really good, and I'm interested to see how Drive to Survive kind of cuts the season up.
Well, yeah, because you kept me up to date on most of it, and that's kind of how I got invested in it, was through
Yeah.
your word of mouth. Also, I just, you're a good storyteller, so it's easier to just listen to you tell a story. But
Yeah, do my best.
you didn't know what to do with that there. I saw you really just do the manly
I mean,
thing.
it's
Take the
alright,
take the
but-
compliment and roll.
We literally just watched the last meal on Mythical Kitchen with Matt Mercer. So like after watching that, and it's like, you're a good storyteller. No, wrong.
I'm just
Look,
changing
you're
my
giving yourself the
character.
Mercer effect. Don't do that. He
just
said himself,
changing
don't do
my
that.
character.
Professional dungeon masters
Okay?
exist.
I'm just changing
Um,
mine.
Yeah,
But,
and
like,
we can
if
make you
we-
fucking one of them.
If we recount like kind of the last half of the season,
That bad.
the championship
Come on, you have
drive
to
that
fight
Max
this bear.
gave from 104 points back in
Really? I didn't want
at the
you
Dutch
to.
Grand
I'm
Prix
sorry.
to 2 points back at Abu Dhabi. There was Lando Norris's recovery to take the win, and like I'm admittedly a Lando hater. Like I don't like him. I find he's petty and he acts like a child. And like lots of people said the same thing about Max before he won his first world championship. Like when Max Verstappen repped the number 33, he was called Mad Max.
Right.
He was like, if he was behind you and you knew he was gonna try and pass,
Just
you
let him
were
go.
in for a bad time. Like you can't let him go, but you have to be very careful because he's aggressive and he's always been very
I thought
aggressive.
that
Right.
worked.
He's got a driving
gonna push
style
me
and a
into
mental
water.
attitude
Can you
for
go
winning.
fishing actually?
So when he's
Not
not
yet.
winning, he would get like screaming mad, like my brother playing any video game.
We need some more
So,
Addy. I'll go
Like
over,
Max
I'm
as a
going.
racer has
I'll
always
go over to
been
get some more.
like petulant in the way that he's overtly aggressive. And then once he won his first, it was almost like somebody flipped a switch. Like the dude just went, I've won once, I'd like to win again. But if I don't, that's fine. I accomplished what I wanted out of the sport, which was I
Right.
won. And to be fair to him, he took out like the man who was arguably one of the best to ever compete in the sport at the height of his game. Like he
Right.
beat Lewis at the height of Lewis and Mercedes in what was the second
gonna keep
fastest
on
car of that
this.
year
Yeah.
on consistency and ruthlessness. So like this year showcase that Max is
You have to
like,
fight this bear.
21 showcase that Max has the mentality. 22
he's going
showcase that he's
crazy.
persistent enough.
He's running for you.
23 showed his
He's trying to put you in
pure-
water.
his pure talent
trying to
in
put
the
you in
sport, like
water.
his dominance, and then
Right.
24 showcased his ability to defend his title. Like 24 was the year that Red Bull started to kind of taper off performance-wise.
Yeah.
At like the last half of the season was him fighting for his title tooth and nail, and he won it with a decent margin, but it was not looking very good for a long time. And then this year, all year,
This is
the
gonna
car
be a
has been bad.
portal.
And Max has been delivering extraordinary results with a car that is mediocre.
Then we need
Yeah.
some more.
He
Guys,
won more
Get
races
some more
this
for
year
me.
than any other
Dad,
driver
get
did.
some more for me.
He won more sprint
Dad,
races
put
this
more
year.
what?
He led more
more
laps
of
this year. He
diamonds
set more
like that.
fastest laps. In a car that was not the fastest. He broke records this year in a car that had no right to do that. Like
Yeah.
the driver,
needs
the driver is a big part of the
100.
sport, but the car is just as important. If the car is bad, you're not going anywhere. There are great drivers in slow cars,
Right.
We need
and so we got a
five.
lot of
We
cool
need
storylines
five.
around that.
Well,
like
yeah, I mean, like prime example.
Dad,
I know
get
this is gonna
one
be a
more
bit
diamond.
cliche because
We
it
need
comes
one
from
more
a
diamond.
very cheesy
Daddy,
movie.
one more diamond.
Okay, we'll get one more. But Vin Diesel kind of said it best. It's not the car, it's the driver.
yeah,
We need some
Max-
more of those diamonds.
Max had a repeat of his
Go in
Brazil
there.
race from last
We
year.
need some more of
So-
those diamonds.
For those
And
that
then
don't
purple
follow
ones.
Formula One at all, I will
Purple.
give you a breakdown.
I did need another diamond.
Last year, Max had a 5-place grid penalty going into the Brazilian Grand Prix because he took a new power unit out of his allotment.
Bless me.
So there is like a limit on how many components you can change on the car in a given season.
More
Right.
24
diamonds,
races is a
diamonds,
very long
diamonds.
season. It hasn't been done like that, and now there's a cost cap, so you can only spend so much money, which means you can only make
you
things
get
so
some more
powerful and so
diamonds.
reliable. Like in the trinity
Yeah,
of
you
things,
getting
you can
some
either have
more?
it good and
Yes, I'm trying to
fast,
get them.
fast and reliable,
Right.
or
Oh, good and fast,
reliable
eh?
and good.
Can you go
That's-
faster?
Anyways,
Talking about
you
your
can
mixed
have it
experiences.
you can have it two combinations of the
down
three,
there.
but you can never have all three.
I know.
Get them down there.
I'm gonna get them down. Jesus Christ,
She's killing
kid.
I need lots.
So
We'll be greedy.
he added a 5th power unit. He took a 5-place grid penalty. He qualified 12th, which means he wound up 17th on the grid. He won the race from 17th in the rain, in what was like the most rain he'd ever had in a
We
Formula
need
One
red
race.
now. We need
It
some
was-
red now.
Everybody was saying the conditions were
where's some
dangerous, and
red?
he won it. And he won it by a significant margin. This year
See,
he
they're
started
not
from the pit
damaging
row,
me. I'll show you why.
and he finished 3rd.
Nope.
Right.
Like he made up the same amount of places, if not more,
Right.
See, I have
having
that.
to pit in a dry
That's
race.
why
It
they're
was not
not
wet this
putting-
year. So like everybody that's doubted his ability, and they've just been like, well, it's the car. Because in Formula One, a common phrase for somebody that does well is they're a car merchant,
Right.
meaning that like they're only doing well because of the car. Lewis gets a lot of that flack. And this year with Ferrari, I think Lewis gets more of that flack. Like this year has been extremely bad. This is the first year in Lewis Hamilton's entire career he didn't score a podium. He didn't touch the podium once at all this season.
Nothing.
And it was his first season with Ferrari. He had the worst season of his career ever. From day one, he's been excellent. This year, he was awful. And everybody's talking about like, well, maybe like age has just caught up with Lewis. I don't think that's the case. I think the Ferrari sucked.
And it doesn't help that so many people upped their game this year when they got ahead of Max because they were running for their fucking lives. Max was eating everybody.
Well, and like this year is the last year of the current regulations. So lots of teams gave up development time for this year's car in order to prioritize next year's.
Yeah.
The idea being that you want to come into a new regulation swinging. Like you want to be going as fast as you can on day one because the new regulations start, race 1 starts, and development doesn't stop. Formula
Right.
1 is a constantly evolving sport. If you
Yeah.
don't keep evolving, you're going to be left behind. So with the end of the ground effect era being this season, by like the halfway point of the season, if your car wasn't fast, there was really no reality in which case it was going to get faster.
Right.
Red Bull went backwards at the halfway point of the season. They sacked Christian Horner. They promoted Laurent Mekies, who was the team principal of Racing Bulls, to Red Bull, and he's an engineer. That's what he was. He started as a powertrains engineer
Oh,
in
okay.
Formula One, and now he's a team principal. And this is
Interesting.
becoming a common trend in Formula One, is having engineering-minded
I'm
people
saving
become team
for-
principals because they have a more
Look what I have.
technical mindset around the cars,
if
and they do a
I
better
have
job
that.
developing them.
To save
Yeah.
you. I
But
have that to save you in case
so
you.
Laurent was promoted to the team principal of Red Bull,
They have
and
to go
he made
back
the
to
choice
sun.
in the moment. He was, we're going to keep
They
developing this
have
car.
to go back
We're
Right.
going
to
to take it as
sun.
far as we can, and we're going to listen to Max. And the second he made those two decisions, the car
Like
got
get some more
faster
diamonds, like
over
more
the
red
course of the
diamonds
last half
for
of the
me.
season, which allowed Max to be
We need
competitive again.
6.
And that's
or
kind of
we
what
need
gave us the storyline.
55.
We also got Nico Hulkenberg getting his
We
first
need
podium in
55.
23 years on the Formula
We
1
need
grid.
55.
We
Okay.
saw,
Okay.
I'm trying to remember
Okay.
what else happened this year. So much.
So much.
So much, yes, so little.
It's so sad.
So sad.
I don't know
I'm
what
still
I
kind of
can
shook up about Max not
do.
winning the drivers. I'm gonna be honest. I'm going to a Friendsmas on the 27th, and most of the
See if that
people that will
works.
be there, except for like 3 of us, are Max fans,
Right.
or sorry, Orlando fans. So it's gonna be the 3 of us in a corner, like Max didn't win, because we're all still like kind of bummed about it.
Right.
Like, I
More
respect
red.
the work
Get
that
more
Lando
red.
put in. He did what he
Get the
needed to do to
potion.
win.
What does the potion
I
do?
don't respect what
Immunity to
everyone in
poison
his
damage.
camp said about it after the fact. Lando's dad, in an interview, said nobody cares or remembers what happens to second place. It's only about the winner.
Yep.
It's like, okay, well, second place is the greatest driver of all time. And you know what? He almost beat your boy. So maybe your opinion is invalid. Like, your son won it because he got lucky. less than he had it the whole time.
Yeah.
Because like the first half of the season, Lando did not lead the drivers championship. His teammate did.
Right.
And then his teammate
More,
coming into
Daddy?
the
Yes,
second
working on
half
No more
lost all of
geese.
his
I know,
pace,
you
just
gotta
like
let
fell
him
off a
build,
cliff.
okay?
The lights were on, but nobody was home.
Yeah.
Oscar was just in the car, and Lando started
I'm
beating
gonna get
Oscar,
some more.
and Max started beating Lando. So they slowly started to catch up, but Max still had the point deficit, right? So like
Yeah.
it's one of those things where like the chips had been stacked against Max, and there was races I can remember that like the running of the race didn't make any sense to me. A prime example is F1 teams have the world's most accurate weather radar systems
Mhm.
on the planet. They are better than what
What's the
meteorologists have
sound?
access to.
Right.
What's that
They
sound that
know
you're
what the
doing?
weather is going to
Nothing,
be with a
Oh, the sound
99%
in
certainty the next
game.
day.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
Oh,
In
that.
Britain, at the
What
British
are you
Grand
doing
Prix,
in the game?
Trying to collect pink gems.
practice and qualifying were all
But
run
they're
in the
purple.
run in the
They're
rain.
purple.
So Red Bull took a chance.
See,
They
they're
set their
purple.
car
Yes,
up to
I
be
know.
faster in the wet.
Right.
And then Sunday morning rolled around, and the stewards postponed the race because the rain was too heavy. And they decided to wait an hour for the rain to lessen
Oh my god.
and the sun to come out before they ran the race. But nobody could change the setups to their cars because of the way the rules of the sport are set. Once you've finished qualifying, you cannot change your car setup without taking a penalty. So Max qualified fifth. He took a high downforce setup, which is better in the rain. He did all of that to have a better chance on Sunday.
Right.
And then the stewards of the race in Great Britain, the country known for its rain, said it's raining too much. We have to cancel it. We have to postpone the race for an hour and a half. So when the race did start,
Hey,
it was dry, and suddenly Red Bull's advantage was gone because they were punished for taking their gamble. And it was one of those races where it's like if they'd run it in the wet, Max probably would have finished better because historically he's the fastest in the rain. Like every race he's ever run that's been wet, he's won or he's podiumed at the very least. He has an unnatural sense for where the grip on the track is, whether it's dry or wet. But he shines the most in the rain because the cars don't matter. It's the driver. And he's just the best of the current field in the rain. So there's been stuff like that. The moral of my story is thank God ground effect is over. Next year the cars are smaller and lighter. They're making more use of the energy system, like the battery system. They're still turbo V6s. The displacement size of the engines is smaller. The power output requirement for the engines is smaller. They've decided for some reason that next year is not going to be part of what's known as like the turbo V6 hybrid era. Because like Formula One exists in two different brackets. There's car design philosophy and then there's powertrain. So commonly you'll hear, well, 1975 was the V12 era. And the cars were designed in a certain, they were flat bottom cars. Or like they were downforce cars. It was a downforce era, but it was more commonly the V12 era. And then we step into the 90s, or sorry, the 80s, and now it's the V10 era. And there's more fun ground effect things that are happening. And then the 90s into the 2000s was the V8 era. And like Formula One V8s have a very distinct sound. They sounded beautiful, and then they scrapped it because in 2011 it became the turbo V6, like the hybrid turbo V6 era, where the batteries became extremely important. And they're like, yeah, so next year the engines get a little bit less powerful. And it's like, these are the last of the turbo V6 hybrid engines that we'll ever see in use. And it's like, next year the engine layout's pretty much the same. It's just bigger battery.
Right.
What do you mean? The only thing we're changing is that we go back to an aerodynamic car as opposed to a ground effect car. The difference for the confused at home, I will break it out to you. Think of your regular going road car, okay? The difference between aerodynamics and ground effects is where we generate the pressure that sucks the car to the ground. So in an aero car, we have airfoils on the front, the top, and the back of the car.
Right.
So you'll have little canards on the front that split up, and they direct air up and around the body. You'll have maybe a little lip spoiler on the back of the roofline that directs air up over the trunk, and then you'll have like a wing on the back trunk, and that directs air up and away. What those airfoils do is they generate lift, but they generate negative lift, so they push the car down.
Yeah.
That's aerodynamics, is we're streamlining airflow in order to create an effect downwards. A ground effect car is different because the way we do that is basically, so look at a Lego car, and I think I have one that I can show you. Okay, well, I have a Lego car, and this is a good example. Actually, I should have grabbed this to begin with, okay? So I can turn my blur background off really quick because I'm the only one here. That's why I'm being so loud. So this is the Lego RB21. So aerodynamic elements are the front wing, the way the roof is structured, because it funnels air towards the rear wing. And on the Formula One cars of modern age, the rear wing has this flap that opens on the push of a button. That's called DRS, or dynamic something system. Doesn't matter. It makes cargo faster because there's less drag reduction system. That's what it's called. Sorry, I'm struggling. So the rear wing and the front wing on a Formula One car are aerodynamic elements. In a ground effect car, we look at the bottom. Oh shit, something just fell off. In a ground effect car, what we're doing is the bottom is flat, and then we add tunnels to direct air across the floor. And what that does is it's the venturi of air pressure. They're literally called venturi tunnels, as we direct air out the sides and through the back. And we do it with a diffuser, because a diffuser will slow the air out the back of the car, because a venturi is high in, low out. So you've got high pressure air coming from the front, and we slow it down going out the back, and that will pull the car down. So it's aero pushes, ground effects pulls. You know what I mean? I know it's confusing, and I apologize for my explanation. I'm not good at explaining this. But next year, the cars are less aero, and they're more aero, and they're less down the ground effect. So that's pretty cool, and I look forward to seeing how next year's cars shake up compared to this year's. Plus, they're smaller and lighter, which means they can go faster. They're more nimble and maneuverable. They got rid of the DRS system in favor of an active aerodynamic system. So as the cars speed up, the wings drop, and they reduce the drag. It's not drag reduction. They called it something else. The acronym was MOM for a while. Don't ask me why. It was like manual. It was the manual obstruction maneuvering system. It's like MOMS.
Daddy,
Hold on, I'll Google it.
Candies?
What?
No, it's okay, honey.
But
You
I'm gonna save one for you.
Okay.
Active aero
Do you eat-
system
Now,
called.
oh. They're yummy. And looks
Sure, we'll
like
go with that.
So they
it's
that's
a candy
right,
cane.
they've-
See?
changed this. It's active aerodynamics, which means it can be influenced to work in conjunction with the car. Yeah, they called it MOM, which was manual override mode, which allowed you to manually adjust the wing trims, because you trim a wing in order to influence how much downforce you do or don't want. They've now changed it. It's called overtake mode again,
I know why.
which is
Which is
hilariously
good
also what
burns.
DRS was.
Sure, go
The
down.
difference is now you can use it everywhere, as opposed to just in
That's
certain
weird that
areas
which
on the
is
track.
good ones.
Right.
But it's which time?
So there's straight line speed, and then there's cornering mode.
Daddy,
and they have a couple
Twitch
different versions.
time.
I think they actually call it
Okay.
X mode, which
You
is
have to
stupid.
be your favorite character.
Like, oh, he on X Games
Now
mode.
you have to fight me. I'm the kitty witch.
But that's my conclusion for Formula One for
And try
25.
and fight me.
I do encourage, if anything I've ever said about Formula One has been interesting at any point in time, that people watch the Netflix series Drive to Survive.
I still
Because
have
Drive
to
to
watch
Survive, it's really good for giving you
There's a
context
whirlwind.
on who the drivers
Yeah.
are. And
Are you going to come in the middle of here?
the way
No,
they
I
do
mean,
the
turn to work.
storylines is largely at times like actively
Try
cutting
work.
out important
On what?
information of the storylines.
No, are you talking
But that being
where
said,
I am?
most of those storylines
No.
do happen in some capacity or
Podcast is me
another.
and Uncle Chris's work.
But my character.
So
I thought
It's
you were
not
coming
like
where my character
it's
was.
completely wrong. It's just
Right.
it's like Googling how do I bake bread on the internet. Like one dude is going to tell you how to bake bread, and the next dude is going to tell you how to jerk off your buddy. And it's up to you to know,
Where are you
okay,
going?
that seems wrong.
She's
I
gonna
don't think that's how I
you.
bake
Let
bread.
me get that.
One of these things
know what I
is
mean?
dust
Let me get
doesn't
that.
belong
Not like the
No.
other.
Don't press A.
So
Yeah.
that's Formula One. And I'm really proud of myself for making that only half an hour. I think my active race reviews that I like have sent people, like usually Monday mornings after a race. I know for a fact Landon's gotten longer.
A clown
Well,
fish.
I know you sent me longer as well.
I know.
But
I'm used to every time I start talking about Formula One,
just getting into the groove.
I always watch the viewer count as it like hits 1, which is me. Like, because I have the stream up so I can see chat.
I'm getting. No, I'm
Yeah,
getting.
That's
Somebody
that's Formula
likes
One.
me. Oh.
Oh.
It's just me.
Well, if I remember correctly, the first time you ever talked about F1 on the podcast was episode 2 or 3, and you
What?
talked
What's that
about it for an
called?
hour and a half.
Hey, what's that
Yeah, dude.
called?
I'm getting
That's
better
an
at
Arctic char.
shortening my
Arctic
wins.
char?
I'm pretty
you want-
good at it.
You want to talk about the saddest revelation of 2025? Claire Obscure.
Oh yeah. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen of the chat. Claire Obscure has been stripped, and I found this out today because I did a little digging on it, of all of its awards.
Yeah, after I mentioned
I
it.
got another one.
Well, because so you told me that it had lost its Game of the Year, and I'd seen a couple articles
I'd been
about it already.
keeping up
I
with
didn't
it,
want to say
yeah.
anything. It lost every single award nomination it got except for music, because
I got
the
another one?
music
Why
and the
does it keep doing
direction
that?
We're not.
was not.
AI
and it lost
directed.
It lost it hilariously, as far as I can tell, not because they used generative AI,
Look, I got another one.
because they did not
See
at
that?
any point
Clownfish.
disclose
Now,
the
Clownfish,
use
why
of
do you not
generative
get the
AI.
best
Well,
one?
and what they did fully disclose after this whole issue had been brought to light and they've been stripped.
Look, I
the
got
in-
dragon.
Yes,
head.
you got Nazarite statue. The issue that they had talked about in the interview about Claire Obscure being stripped of
I
its
just got-
title was that
Do this.
they didn't disclose it because the AI that was used was only used in the pre-alpha gameplay, just so they could get a feel for where the direction of the game was going. And then once they got that, with the pre-alpha gameplay, they started, going with their own direction and directives, and they turned off the AI. But people still saw fit to complain about that because people, for whatever reason, still bitch about the fact that Claire Obscure won Best Game of the Year. And honestly, I think it still should. I don't think it should have been stripped of its title because the game, the AI that was used, like they said, was used before any licensing stuff was even put in place.
So, I think they still deserve it,
Yeah, I agree.
because I do think that whether
Look, I got a rock.
well, so that's only technically
That's a
true,
rock.
Steph.
We call them
A-
AI instinctively, but
Enemies and NPCs are programmed systematic algorithms, which is not actually the term for them, but like a computer controlled enemy in a video game is just that. It is controlled by the computer given a set list of parameters to follow.
No.
Basically, a developer teaches you how the enemy in Call of Duty is going to play, and the computer must
I'm
represent that to the best of its ability. That's why computer controlled
This is
enemies
pretty
so
creepy.
frequently you'll see
Mhm.
like games that have done that poorly,
Oh,
they'll like glitch
he
out or
will
they'll gimmick
upgrade.
into
Look,
walls.
he needs that.
yes,
There is
I'm
only
sorry.
one game currently that actively uses machine learning, which is the closest simulation to AI
Swimming
for its
Galaxy
enemies, and that's Arc
Rock.
Raiders. The Arcs, the robotic enemies, because Blue's playing it
Yeah.
right now. The
Nice.
Arcs they were written into a machine learning code, and then
Can you
put into the
upgrade that yet?
environment, and then the
Yeah.
machine learning
But look
had
again.
to
Can you look again?
it
for me?
learned how to
Yep,
control
we need
itself
those
given
diamonds. Get
what
40
it has
diamonds
access
for
to
us.
and the
Can I
area it
go get
exists
some
within.
diamonds for us?
Yeah. No,
It
I
is absolutely bullshit that they
No, you
lost their
don't need
reward,
that one.
okay.
and it's the failure to
Fine,
disclose
do
that got
one.
them. If they had said up front, yeah, hey, when we were starting to make this game, we used generative AI to help us, they would have been fine. But they didn't say anything until after it came out, and by then it was too late. Because that's been a big thing: is does AI have a place in video games? And I think that it does, but to a like, here's the problem: the argument is actually are video games art? Because if video games are art,
They
then AI
upgrade.
has no place within it because AI cannot create art.
Right.
If video games aren't art, then go hogs wild and use AI all you want,
That's quick.
because it doesn't matter. It's not an art form.
That
It's in it. But art is a method of creating entertainment, and
Right,
video
yeah.
games are an engine for that entertainment, which tells me that video games are an art form, and so
Which I would agree with.
you should not use AI in the creation process. I
Well,
don't disagree with using AI.
Tell that to
AI
all
is a
these
good tool.
numpties who sell AI-made art and almost trick us into paying for it.
Dad,
Yeah,
can you try to do this for me? I'm trying to get a
where
goldfish.
Yes.
If you are making a profit on
Hey,
artificial
it's pretty fast
intelligence,
for a minute.
that is not okay.
I'll do this for you.
Especially if you're not being honest about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying
Arc
to get
Raiders
goldfish.
from day one was
For some
very upfront
reason.
with the fact, the wasps, the hornets, the fireballs.
It just keeps
the-
getting those.
I don't know.
It's
There
getting
was
the
a big
same
voice actor strike
fishes
because of AI.
somehow.
Yeah, there was. I was really confused. I was like, man, how did Blue manage that? And then I read through the lines. But so every single archetype of robot enemy within Arc Raiders is controlled by machine learning. They were upfront about that since day one. That was the point. They wanted to create an extraction shooter based around the idea that the AI won. And now we live underground and we have
That's
to
cool.
go up topside in order to find supplies to continue to operate society
I moved for you.
in Speranza. And these things learn. Actually, I saw a video about
Dad,
it.
you lose one of your
yesterday.
things.
There's a guy who's been playing
Like-
Ark
You are
since day
messing
one,
with my character.
I
and
wasn't
he was
meaning
talking
to.
about
You
how
should have just left him.
when he first started playing Ark
what the hell?
Raiders, he noticed that you used to be able to gimmick the enemy really easy. If you were inside a building with slits in the walls, if a hornet saw you, it wasn't smart enough to know it could fly in. Now they know they can fly into the buildings, and so they'll fly in, and they know how to juke, and they can dodge you, and they know how players aim and shoot, anticipate. So the machines in Arc Raiders are actively learning how the player base has been encountering them, and the developers are slowly allowing the arcs to improve their tactics against players,
Right.
because that was the whole point of the game.
Oh, Rookie, I
So in
am
that
aware you're
sense-
back. I just got 2 notifications on Steam.
Hi, Rookie.
That we need gold now.
So
There is some
I'm
gold
cool with AI in
blocks.
games where it's upfront
Daddy,
disclosed and
you
that's
know,
part of the
we
purpose.
see
Like the
gold.
mission
Yeah,
is
so
we
they're
want
fine.
to incorporate,
Need gold.
we want to use the tool that is machine learning in a way that makes sense. That's cool.
Yeah.
Generative AI, like half of our assets are designed by artificial intelligence? No. Using it to help your small development team kickstart an idea and help
That's good.
drive it into some form where you know how to continue to expound on it,
That's good.
absolutely,
That's good. Do
that's
that.
fine. I use AI for D&D stuff all the time.
Yeah.
I ran a session last Friday. I needed 2 stat blocks. I did not have stat blocks. We had started the session and I realized I forgot to make the stat blocks. I literally fired up ChatGPT. I need a stat block for a damaged Veracute, and I need a stat block for a Vanguard Titan from Titanfall 2 at CR 12. And it generated me my stat blocks, and I ran the combat encounter. And it went well. And they won. Spoilers. Not that I record it and post it anywhere. They did win the combat. But like, you know, that was a thing. I needed the answer immediately. So I used AI for it. And AI
Right.
is very versatile as a tool. But it cannot be the whole process.
No.
It can't be the complete solution. It can only ever be a tool in finding the solution.
No. Like if the whole process, or the way I should say this is, if the hardest thing you had to do throughout creating whatever it is you're creating is just use your fingers to type in a few prompts here and there, then it does not deserve money. Like, you should
So,
not
like-
be charging money for it.
Yeah, we used AI, and we've been upfront about that since the first episode. We originally used them to generate our little icons, which I was admittedly against, but we didn't have time or the money to find somebody to pay for it, and we still don't have the money to pay somebody for it. And
Right.
then when we changed the name, we used AI to change the title card, because neither of us have the talent or the time or the money to enact a proper solution. But we're not using AI to deepfake ourselves
No.
or use AI to create the podcast, right?
Well, we've already
are-
rectified half the problem, because out of those 2 AI, inquired things, we've already gotten rid of one of them because we both have webcams.
Yeah.
So
So we found solutions to the problems as we've gone through them,
yeah,
we use the AI as a temporary stopgap in order to get rolling, which is what we wanted.
yes,
And so in that context, I think it's fine. I think Claire Obscure should have maintained its game award.
I
and its
can
Game of the Year
understand a
wins.
slap on the wrist for like, hey, you should have told us or something, but to go through and
They're a
strip it of
small-
everything,
Well, yeah, like give them some kind of a punishment or a penalty. Like, hey, the next game you make can't be nominated or something.
yeah, or
Like-
be like, hey, you have to incur a small fine the next time you do this. Just something,
Or we want some kind of or just a fine in general.
Yeah. But
DST game
to
has an extra
strip them?
copy you can send a friend. What the fuck is DST?
So
Rookie,
that's why
what's DST?
that's
Is
why
that Sex
Rookie
Divers?
no, that's why Rookie left, is because he sent me the Don't Starve games and then Don't Starve Together.
Oh, Don't Starve. Yeah, I have Don't Starve Together.
Yeah, so
I kickstarted Don't Starve Together.
did you actually?
Yeah, I kickstarted the original Don't Starve when it was announced, and I kickstarted Don't Starve Together. Yeah, I know that Rookie is always out here buying games for people. We were actually talking about that a little bit before stream. The pure volume of games that I know Will has told me about cannot possibly have been kept up with.
How do I
Like
collect
you'd need its own folder of games to just work through in a day on stream.
It's not
And,
letting
like,
me.
Oh.
That's a lot of that's a lot of time,
I guess I'm stuck down here.
Hold on. Oh,
especially if you wanted to try and play
No,
it into
you get
completion.
stuck down here too.
Yeah, that's valid stuff.
You
Uh,
can.
but yeah, I don't. The loss of the awards doesn't make any sense. A
Oh,
I
fine
know,
would have
but now
been
you can go
would have
back
been
up
fine.
there, right?
You could
I
charge them
don't wanna
something
go
for it.
all the way back up there.
Like, or better yet, use it as a learning point for your because there's a nominations committee. This year it was crowd nominated, but like
Yeah.
if the people voted for it to get an award and the people voted for it to receive the award, then what's the plot? What's the problem?
Ooh, gold.
You're not. It's not like previous years in the Game Awards where he's had a nominations committee that's voted on the games behind
Yeah.
closed, like
More
to be
gold?
nominated behind closed doors.
Yeah.
This year was completely by the people for the
There you
people.
go.
So there's no loss of integrity to an awards show
There
for
you go,
it receiving an award
Go
because
where?
they didn't stick their
Just
necks
somewhere
out for it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It seems
find
churlish and
where you go?
short-sighted.
Yeah.
When instead you could just take your stance, go, hey, we
Did I
understand
get some
that
more
this
gold
game was
for me?
made with the assistance
Did I
of
get some more
generative
gold
AI.
for me?
Yes.
Going forward, nominations with
That means
any
don't
form
have
of AI
gold?
use will not be
So I'm
considered.
telling
That's
you.
why Borderlands 4 didn't get nominated for
That means
anything.
I'm going
Not that it was very
Nonsense.
good.
That's some gold.
But there was lots of games that came out this year
Okay,
that like
those two
Steam's
golds I need.
disclaimer system that like this game
That's
uses
the only
AI
thing
or
I
used
need
AI in
gold.
development.
1,
Right.
2,
All of those
3,
games
4.
did not get nominated.
Iron,
With the exception of
blue
our
gold,
creators, because again, that was the point of the game,
yellow gold,
was
Right.
that
red
it's
gold,
the AI that's your enemy.
purple gold.
Like
Yes, honey.
our creators is based as
iron
fuck
gold.
because they understand
gold now.
Skynet bad. And
Yeah.
nobody else gets it. Everybody else is out here like, well, maybe we should just turn off the restriction system. It's like, no, that's how you get World War VII. Like,
Skynet bad.
do you want T-3000? That's how you get T-3000. Like, listen, folks, there's movies about this.
Nobody knew that Triumph. Nobody knew that Triumph was telling predictions back in 1889 when he made the T100 Bonneville.
Shit, you're right. You're right. So yeah, I think that sucks for them. And even though the French aren't technically people, I do feel bad for the developers. I said it live 4K. Sorry, the French are people, but Quebec is not a real place. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, let's be real. We're talking about the real French people here,
Talking
not
about the French,
not the faux
not-
French in Quebec.
not the frogs.
Not- What's wild is I've actually heard someone say that to a French cop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we can
I-
all take a guess at who it was too.
Yeah. Good old grandpa.
Oh yeah. Good old Grumpy Gramps.
So yeah, like it is what it is. I'm trying to remember if I have anything else written down for this. So we've talked about Formula One now. I can write that down. I was gonna go back.
This
through
is
the
how
list of
you do
topics I have.
professional podcasts, folks. Talk about the topics 24 hours in advance, forget about it, and then sift through your list on screen with your viewers.
Yeah. Okay. Winnipeg trip we've talked about.
Correct.
Claire Obscure we've talked
Correct.
about. Did you have
F1.
anything? F1.
Oh, that was Iana. You tired? Please tell me you're tired.
No.
Fuck.
Please, please be tired. I'm hoping the transcription function works on the
Yeah, that's
longest
a lava dome
episode.
going on there.
Motoring into the holidays.
Yeah,
Game
that's
Awards
a-
losing
please
all of its
don't
awards
tell
through the use of AI in
We are gonna
games. In its
go down
game.
Oh,
Please
let's
don't
talk
tell me
about
you're
our
gonna go down
sporadic,
there.
amazing
Please don't tell me you're gonna go into
loss
lava.
of brain cell Christmas
Please
shopping
don't
spree.
tell me you're going into
I'm not
lava.
going to.
Oh man.
That's actually why.
So
Oh,
For
every
the
year,
moment.
every year, without fail, I forgot all about this.
So
Will and
much
I
gold
do our
down
Christmas
here.
shopping at the same time. We go together because we live in Saskatoon together, so we might as well go out and do our Christmas shopping.
We both need to be in the vicinity for that because of the brain cell.
And we wait. And I saw this TikTok today that was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Time
Is
to
like
change.
me on my way to the mall because I waited till Mary was 4 centimeters dilated to do my Christmas shopping. that's our game plan every year.
It's bunny
Generally,
time.
we aim for like the weekend of the 21st.
You didn't have to be
And
bunny.
That's okay. I don't mind.
And you'll never
Yeah.
guess it. We did our Christmas shopping on the 20th.
So much gold that you have to get.
There is a we
like
made
so much gold.
we went to 2 places this year. It was pretty easy.
Of all gold I'm gonna
We
get.
went to Walmart and we went to Indigo.
It
And
was
Indigo is a
still,
Canadian-owned book chain
it
store,
was still too much with this city.
Walter.
and it was still catastrophically bad.
It's pretty hot down here.
So we
I'm
started
cold.
with the Walmart
hot.
by my house,
Cold or hot?
and
I'm hot.
getting in and out of Walmart wasn't a problem. Getting through Walmart was. The sheer volume of people that are doing the exact same thing that we're doing every year when we do this indicates to me that we're not wrong. Okay? We're not wrong for going out 4 days before Christmas to do our Christmas shopping.
We're not wrong. We're just wrong because there's that many people.
We're just slightly off key.
Daddy?
Like if we'd gone, here's the thing: we go like 8 o'clock
boy.
at night.
Right.
And this year we went at noon, and that was probably where we fucked up. Admittedly, like we both had stuff going on that
Daddy,
night, so going
wow.
late isn't always an option. Like the last 2 years now, the race has been racing to the stream clock. Like stream starts at this time, we need to be done with enough time for me to drive you home, or for you to drop me off and drive home.
Right.
So like the sheer volume of people sucked. And
Yeah.
then we went to Indigo,
It can't itch.
which was like a half an hour drive that normally takes 10 minutes. And we get there, and I made the only mistake of the entirety of the day, which was I parked between 2 vehicles that were much too close together with my full-sized half-ton pickup truck.
That was beautiful.
And then I had to get out of that spot. We got in, we found a book for my dear old dad, Grandpa Steve, which was called What Could Possibly Go Wrong. It's a book about obscure inventions over the years.
We should have.
I
We
will
should
find a
have
link
got.
to it.
We should have got that other book, the gayest book of history.
Oh yeah, we found
should've
we
gotten
found
that
some
book.
absolute bangers. I will find links to these on Amazon, and I will put them in the threads for the Yarn Chat.
Because according to this book, trees are in fact gay because they brush branches. So stupid. What was the one about running? Oh, Jesus, Steph. Okay.
Daddy, do it.
Well, never mind the one about running. I think Stephanie just beat us for entry into the gayest book of history.
Daddy, how am I not dying?
Because
Get this
Robin
book.
hasn't activated yet. We're talking about the gayest book of history, and look at what Stephanie just said.
Oh,
Look.
you might have seen Ali in there. Yeah, actually we
Look.
did. He was
Yeah, it's
front page.
Picture of a caveman.
It was wild.
Unga bunga.
The gayest streamer on Twitch, which I thought was Barley the Burr.
We were.
It turns out it's Blue
wrong.
Devil Dragon. I'd never been so wrong in my life.
We thought that's what it was, but we were wrong.
I can't be right all the time.
But when I'm wrong, I'm still right.
And to make
That's
insult to
weird.
Andrew worse, I do it in the tone of your
Why don't you
president.
do that?
No, but it was such a funny book because like every single thing that they could find, they just twisted. They're like, "This isn't that gay," and it really is like any conversation you've ever had with the boys.
Yeah, let's go
Yeah.
now.
Well, because there was
Or, like,
literally one of the
Oh,
first
no.
TikToks
entries.
were like,
Yeah.
"Go off, King."
One of the first entries, if you remember, on the first page was the top 7 things that are gay about caveman history. And the top one was something about running. It was cavemen thought that running or walking was too slow, so they started running, and it turns out running is actually gay because running was invented by a woman caveman or something. It was something dumb to that effect. Just nonsensical bullshit that's just funny to read.
It's it was a really funny book.
Yes.
It's funny because we were looking for a book about the Muppets or like a Muppets themed book that wasn't a children's novel.
The joke's on us. We were the fucking Muppets.
Yeah, we're always the Muppets. And this leads to the
we're like
funniest
the two
revelation.
old men from the Muppets when we're in a store.
Yeah. Like, the employees look at us. I didn't pay for it and I still feel ripped off. Yeah.
Let's do this one.
The funniest revelation that I had the entire time we were shopping, and this was something that was agreed upon by the two of us because we share a brain cell, and that was we were leaving the Walmart, which is hilariously before tragedy strikes in my parking spot and trying to leave the Indigo.
Oh, that was fucking amazing. And what's even better is your dad was on the phone with you.
Yeah, had good old Grandpa Steve on the phone with me. So we're leaving Walmart, and I'm looking at the people in the vehicles driving past us, and I looked over to Will and I said, hey, have you ever noticed, and this isn't the first time I've noticed this, we're the only two happy motherfuckers out Christmas shopping? And I wish I was kidding, folks. I know they say Canadians are all friendly. That's absolutely a lie. The looks you will get when Christmas shopping in a Walmart would kill a lesser man.
Canadians are only friendly to other people from other like places in the world that they don't know whether they're safe or not. If it's another Canadian talking to another Canadian, you're gonna get told to fuck off and die.
we are absolutely murderous to our own people.
We are a detriment to our society.
Everywhere we went, and this is something that I think has gotten worse as time has gone on, and probably the cost of living crisis isn't helping at all with that. But like every year we've done this, and this is year 4 now.
Yes.
The people we have encountered, with very few exceptions, have been progressively more miserable or angry every year.
Dude, I don't know how we haven't gotten into an altercation yet.
So, I don't either. Like, I don't get it at all. But every year, everybody looks grumpier and more miserable and more upset about the fact that they're Christmas shopping. And I had to ask, I was like, is it because we're like genuinely fucking stupid? Or are we actually just that upbeat that this is enjoyable for us? And so we're having a good time, which is the point, I think, of shopping for the holidays. Like, listen, here, this is going to be a hot take. For me, the guy in the Christmas sweater right now, I'm here to tell you all.
7.
Live in 4K. Chat, clip this.
50.
I don't like the holidays.
Yeah.
5?
I hate all of them. Christmas is my least favorite of the batch.
I wish
my favorite
Halloween.
St. Patrick's Day.
I wish Halloween was a holiday because that's honestly my personal favorite. Because I mean, who doesn't?
I like Halloween.
It's the one time a year where I can legally scare children without going to jail, and I can have as much candy as I want. Okay?
Yeah. Well, like, so then, like, in my mind, Halloween didn't even really factor into it. Halloween for me is a really fun day where I get to see people's creativity, and like, it's cool. It's cool to see cosplayers in the wild. When they're just adhering to a social norm, so they don't feel weird about it. But like, Christmas as a holiday for me died a long time ago, and I've never cared for it. I participate in it because my family still very much enjoys it, and I think that is the case for most men that are between the ages of 25 and dead. Like, it's just kind of the way it is. And this is gonna be really depressing as the Christmas episode, and I'm really sorry about that. The reason why I'm not a huge fan of the holidays is because I've had multiple family members and friends pass away in and around the holidays, whether that be like just old age, and that's just the way it goes. Nobody outruns death,
Hmm.
or they've taken their own lives, and it sucks because that it jades the season
Hmm.
forever. You just like
Right.
some
Yeah,
of those
because when
people.
that time comes
I
around
wasn't
again every year, you're not thinking, "Oh, yay, Christmas!" You're thinking, "Oh, right, this is another year I haven't seen this person."
Well, and like I always like the last of my friends to die in the holiday season, like in and around the window of
Okay.
Christmas. He took his life on Christmas Eve in 2017, and I learned about that when a friend called me as my dad and I were
No.
on our way to pick up the Chinese food because that's like the family tradition. I think most people's family tradition is you get Chinese food on Christmas Eve. But
Fuck,
like we
mine's
were on our way to the
my tradition's
restaurant.
not kill each other.
That's valid too. But like we were on our way to the restaurant, my phone rang. I saw the phone number. I was like, "Oh shit, it's my friend from Alberta. I wonder how she's doing."
But
Like
could you keep
We can
I
play
playing?
more
completely forgot to
tomorrow.
wish her a Merry Christmas.
But
This is a good
Okay.
opportunity. So
don't
I
do the
answer the
parts
phone.
I
I'm like,
like
"Hey,
doing.
Merry
All the
Christmas."
parts, but
And
just play around in the
I am greeted with
Play around
multiple
in
females who I
the
know
bed.
from the Edmonton, Alberta region who are all bawling their eyes
Play
out
some
because one
your
of our
game.
friends just took his life and they found him earlier that
Just wait.
afternoon.
Just wait.
And that sucks. And
You
like so every year
you keep
it doesn't even
talking.
kill it.
I'm gonna go get Tegan her milk for bed and send her to bed quickly.
But could you watch
Okay,
So, do you want?
I will try to stall for time.
Do you want to say?
I'm gonna
goodnight
try
to
and turn
everybody?
this around.
night?
Oh, lean into the
Good
camera.
night, Tegan.
Lean in. Lean in. Lean in.
Good night.
Good night.
Say love you, bye, everyone.
Tegan, say love you. Bye,
Love you,
everyone.
bye.
Bye.
Good enough. We'll take it.
Yeah, she did say love you. Bye, just not everyone.
She
So,
did.
That means some of you can fuck off. No.
So, anyways, to continue to be a downer for like 15 seconds here, and I apologize for this. I understand that it's a terrible topic around a relatively joyous season. The reason why that bothers me as much as it does is not because of its effect on me, is because of its effect on the people who I care about, who now, when they, especially like my ex-girlfriend was one of the people that called me after he took his life, and she was in tears, and she called me because she didn't know who else to talk to, which I felt bad for her about because like, bro, that sucks. Why are you talking to me? Yuck. But like, also like, this Christmas was her favorite season, and I remembered that from when we were together. So like, the context of this with with that event and the Christmas season will forever change her outlook on Christmas, right? The season will be jaded by that fact, that event that happens that cannot be changed. So that's where it usually takes it for me. So now I'm not a Grinch. I put on my nice Christmas sweater. I say Merry Christmas to everybody. Everybody deserves to have a happy holiday season. I'm not saying that Christmas is dumb and stupid. I'm just saying that for me it's not a thing anymore. I don't jive with holidays like I used to. Just because I've gotten older and I'm just a jaded old man. Biggles would call me an unc right about now. It is what it is. But that being said, I do still very much enjoy getting people stuff. I was like, yeah, see, it's stuff like that, right? My parents split when I was in my senior year of high school, and that was like the spring of my senior year. My mom's birthday is on Christmas, so she always hated Christmas because everybody celebrates Christmas instead of her birthday, which was hilariously an argument in my household every year over why don't we just celebrate Christmas, or why don't we just celebrate your birthday before? And that was never good enough, but whatever. And then hilariously, when she remarried my stepdad, she was like, well, we're going to get married on Christmas Eve. And they both agreed. Fucking idiots. So, like, there are things that I think jade the holiday season for people, which genuinely sucks. And to quote the Man in Black himself, yeah, thanks, Steph. To quote the Man in Black himself, I wear the black for the poor and beaten down, right? I let it affect me, and I hope that helps other people know that they're not alone, because that's like arguably the worst part about the holidays. Oh shit, my roommates are here. Hold on. Ba-ba-ba. All right. But that's my fun story. About it's not a fun story. There's nothing fun about that story. But I look forward to it every year. I look forward to the holidays and seeing friends and seeing the family that I have that's still around and kicking. That's always good times. I wish I had somewhere else to go with that. Wow. Anyways, Will and I were talking, and this is something that a wait in the Discord would be good for. We were talking about what we're gonna do for New Year's this year, because this year New Year's Eve is Wednesday, which is when we normally do the podcast, except for this week because tomorrow's Christmas Eve and both of us are busy as shit. But we were thinking starting the podcast earlier and then playing a game after. I know, revolutionary concept. Thanks, Steph. Thanks for bearing with me on that one, dude. I appreciate. Hey, I see you. You're real for that one. So what game should we play? I was thinking maybe Overcooked. Maybe if Rookie's around, Garfield Kart. Maybe not. Playing a couple games, having a guest. Is there a guest that we could bring on from the past? Maybe we bring fat tongue. Maybe we bring Blue and Rookie back. That could be fun. And then we do some games after the fact. My truck was just started, and it's playing music. I'm just gonna play. I'm gonna press play on this. Hold on. Can I? No. Truck went too far away. Hold on. Oh, truck got turned off again. That's valid stuff. We gotta figure out how to get your computer fixed. Figure something out. Love to watch Will play Overcooked. I think Gabe is currently playing Star Wars. Yeah, they're definitely playing Battlefront 2 right now. I keep seeing, I think it's notifications from his Discord. They're both in a call together, so they have to be playing. They have to be playing Battlefront 2. But yeah, we're gonna come up with something. Don't know what yet. I'm really hoping we'll back soon. I am running out of stuff to ramble about. Needs a new CPU. What's your old CPU? Like, is that a hard to access feat or just an expensive feat? I'd be curious. Is it a real tower or is it just a laptop? Because I'll be upfront, if it's a laptop, that's much harder to replace. You're kind of limited on your options with that one. But yeah, that's valid. Depending on how old it is, that gets more difficult than it needs to be. And like, even if you have the money, right now, computers are just staggeringly expensive, right? The price of RAM in the last 2 weeks because of AI has like quintupled just because they need RAM and random access memory for it, like server farms. And so when will that go back? Who knows? I have 32 gigs of RAM in my computer that I use for like this and gaming and occasionally streaming. And the RAM kit in my PC is worth something to the tune of like $600. It's staggering. I wish I could help with that one. If he messages me, I might have a friend with one or something kicking around. I just need to know what it is. Because a bunch of my friends have like old CPUs that still work. So maybe we could get you sorted, get you figured out. If it's only 4 years old, it increases the odds that I have one, very honestly. And then it'll just be like a compatibility thing. Sometimes if the processor is newer, but it still works on the motherboard, you need a BIOS update because the old BIOS won't do the thing. And then the kibbles won't recombobulate with the bits. So you gotta reamulate the base plate of prefamulated amulite that's housed within the turbo encabulator. And all that's to say, the digital box is a very complex yet simple piece of equipment that old men struggle with a lot. Sorry, I'm dying. I got TB. That was meant to be purposely confusing, but I appreciate your attempt nonetheless. In case you guys are wondering why I keep looking at my phone, I have a flight that I'm supposed to go and meet at the airport in 3 hours. And my roommate just moved my truck. So I'm really hoping that he plugged it back in. Probably. I think so. They just got back. They were off in the far reaches of the province doing their own holiday of hunting. But let's do a deep dive. Let's do a deep dive. Let's do oh, Steph, you're an Avatar fan, right? Let me do a news story just for you. Let's find the latest and greatest, because there is actually some Avatar news from today. This was published 9 hours ago by IGN. So the new Avatar: The Last Airbender movie that's supposed to be coming out next year will no longer be released theatrically and will be launched exclusively on Paramount Plus. It was supposed to come out in October of 2026, titled The Legend of Aang: The Last Airbender. There's also a series that will be associated with that called Avatar 7 Havens, which I don't think is about Aang. They are both going to be coming to Paramount Plus, which, I mean, according to this, is a surprise because the last anime movie to come out, which was Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, did extremely well. I didn't know this, but apparently it grossed $774 million at the global box office. You didn't know? Yeah. Hey, this is just in. They're making a new Avatar movie, and it's supposed to follow the original group from the time period after The Last Airbender ends up till just before Aang dies. So right before Korra takes place. Korra was underappreciated, I think. That was a good show. It got kind of weird at the end, but it was good. Avatar 7 Havens, which is a new animated series, will consist of Book 1, which is going to be 13 half-hour episodes, and Book 2, which will also be 13 half-hour episodes. Apparently they confirmed... Oh, it will be new characters. It will follow the next Avatar following Korra, which is pretty rad. Her name is going to be Pavi. She is a Earthbender.
Oh, we're talking about
He's back.
new Airbender
Talking
stuff?
about the new Avatar.
Yeah.
I was just talking about how the new movie, which is going to follow the gang between Last Airbender and Korra, is no longer going to be a theatrical release. It's Paramount Plus exclusive.
Oh.
As well as the new series will not have a television release, and it will be exclusive to Paramount Plus, which kind of sucks because Paramount Plus is a terrible streaming service. It's got nothing on it except for Landman at this point.
Fair.
I haven't watched season 2 of Landman, but it's on the list. I'm really excited for that.
Haven't watched any of it yet, but I've seen lots of interesting things about it. It's kind of... Landman from what I've seen of it from like TikTok and just Billy Bob Thornton being in it, reminds me of almost like a oil field version of Yellowstone.
Yeah, basically, but better. Like I enjoyed Yellowstone a lot. The Landman is
See,
absolutely a better series.
I'm not allowed to watch Yellowstone with Hope anymore.
Why?
Because I wore a black Carhartt jean jacket and cowboy hat once, and apparently I looked too much like Rip Wheeler, and I ruined all of the women in my family's petty fantasies. So, yay for me! I love walking into a room and hearing a bunch of women go, "No, no, fuck off!" It's great for the old self-esteem. Yeah, see,
yeah, he just needs a haircut.
I actually
then
I actually have a picture of me wearing that outfit. If I can find it, I'll send it to Chris here. Not to you.
and I'll put it straight into the threads in the yarn
Swear to
chat.
fuck. No, we can't let any of the horny bastards see it.
Other news from today in the gaming world is that 007 First Light has been delayed 2 months for further polish, with developer IOI stating that it is going to be postponed from March 27th, which was its initial release, to May 27th, 2026. They published that in a statement saying that they wanted to delay it to ensure it was able to deliver the strongest possible version at launch, which, you know what? Totally fair. IOI puts out great games.
I'm okay with that for a bunch of reasons. One, like you said, IOI puts out a lot of not only great games but great content. So if they want to optimize it and, like, you know, just do whatever they need to do to make it look prettier, I'm okay with that. On the other side of things, there's also a few other games coming out.
007 First Light got pushed back before we got GTA 6. You want to know the funny irony of that statement, Steph? Is that the date that 007 First Light will now be releasing on May 27th, 2026 was the original release date, or the last release date before the most recent delay of Grand Theft Auto 6. It was supposed to release May 27th, 2026 and was delayed to November 19th. So IOI pushed their game back and took the time slot back. They were like, no, that's ours now.
The other reason, Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
The other reason is because now that I've started Neo and gotten so hard into it within the first stream, I see that Neo is coming out February 26th. So that gives me time to process Neo and then eventually get 007, because I do want to stream the 007 game. It has been so long since we've had a good 007 game. Like the last 007 game I played was on the PS2. I believe it was Die Another Day.
I don't know.
I know the cover when I see it. Of course, there goes our fucking webcams again. Stand by, folks. It was Everything or Nothing.
It's really dark in here.
I'm still alive.
I don't. Is anybody out there?
No, it was Everything or Nothing. That was the last one I played.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like Stephanie said, ignore that. Don't be fooled by the man behind the curtain.
It's the man in the wall.
He's in the walls.
I have another interesting piece of news from today. So the Russo brothers have started releasing teaser trailers for characters for Doomsday, and the one that released today was Captain America, and they're bringing Steve Rogers back.
Oh, right. What? Well, okay, that's not surprising.
And I think that's fucking stupid.
I mean,
You sunsetted that character. Give Anthony Mackie his chance. He did a good job. He's a good actor. Don't take the Captain America shield away from the black guy who's doing his best.
Me personally,
Granted,
I'm not
I
a
haven't
huge
watched the
fan.
second half of his show.
I'm not a huge fan of
I
Anthony
didn't watch
Mackie.
Brave New World either.
Yeah, fair. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of Anthony Mackie, but I do agree with your sentiment of Chris Evans should not be coming back to play more Captain America.
No, that would be like saying that. Well, you know what? Actually, yeah, it would be like saying that Tony Stark is coming back. They're bringing RDJ back to play
But
Tony Stark.
he's coming back to play
RDJ
Doctor
is coming
Doom.
back. He's playing Victor Von Doom.
Yeah, so he's coming
which
back to the
is-
Marvel Universe, but he's not coming back as the same character.
and
'Cause,
they've
I mean,
already
let's
started
be
to
honest.
justify that.
So something I didn't actually know about, which RDJ talked about in the interview when he was picked to be Doctor Doom, he was supposed to be the original Doctor Victor Von Doom in the 2006 Fantastic Four.
Yeah, 2006 Fantastic
Yeah,
Four.
the first two there, the first one, and then the
Yeah.
Silver Surfer. He was
With
supposed
Chris
to be.
Evans.
Yeah, when he was the Human Torch. He was supposed to
Yes.
be Victor Von Doom in those movies. But if you remember, that was the time when he was having struggles with getting arrested for substance abuse. So he
Yes.
didn't end up getting picked, which I'm kind of okay with because the guy that we had do it, obviously nobody considered a top tier actor, but that was
No, but he did a killer job.
he did.
He
that
was
was
unreal.
that was our Doctor Doom. It's gonna be cool, really cool seeing RDJ do it, but that was our Doctor Doom. And he was so good at the he wasn't a pompous prick, like the rich pompous prick that RDJ can portray as Victor, but he was a really good Doctor Doom with that whole creepy, dark, aesthetic.
Yeah. So the teaser trailers, so this one was leaked last week and they posted it online just to alleviate that. They've also had the trailer for Thor leak, like his teaser trailer for Avengers Doomsday,
Right, yep.
and they are going to be doing it. They are going to be releasing the trailers in a week-long run exclusively with screenings of Avatar: Fire and Ash in theaters. So if you want to see all 4 of the trailers that they have for Doomsday,
Okay.
you will have to basically go see Avatar or wait for somebody to post them online. And I'm gonna be honest, I'll just wait for somebody to post them online. The Avatar movie was great.
Right.
I care nothing for its sequels.
Touche.
Perfect story, great ending. We needed no more. And then they were like, what if we made The Way of Water and now Fire and Ash? And what's next? Rock and Stone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
well, wasn't it Love and Thunder?
that was Thor.
Well, yeah.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah. I just sent that
Where
picture
Natalie
to you.
Portman dies.
Yep.
If I had a nickel for every time
Fucking
Natalie Portman
finally.
died and an IP owned by Disney, I'd have 2 nickels.
Which isn't a lot.
Which
but
isn't
it's
a
weird
lot.
that has
So weird to happen twice.
I sent that picture to you on Snap.
Um,
Gonna open it up.
the
It's just a
leaked
picture of a big
Doomsday
middle
Thor
finger.
trailer apparently also showcased another character from Love and Thunder who's coming back, but that could be literally fucking anybody, and I don't care that much.
Oddly enough, this is gonna be a weird take on this because not a lot of people like him, but you've seen the movie Free Guy, right? With Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
The guy who owns the gaming company that is a real dick, Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
He's the one that directed and produced Thor: Love and Thunder. I actually enjoyed Thor: Love and Thunder. I think Taika's actually a really good director.
He is.
And
he's done.
He likes playing
really good
cringe
stuff.
characters on screen, but I think he's actually a really good director.
You want to see the funniest Taika Waititi character?
That would actually be an interesting character to come back. Gore's daughter.
Gore's daughter? Yeah, I mean, she doesn't die. Thor saves her. It's part of the
No,
arc.
Yeah.
The funniest character that Taika Waititi has ever portrayed is hilariously Adolf Hitler. Because he does a camp, and I will find this
Please
movie.
find this. Yes, you have piqued my interest.
The movie's called Jojo Rabbit. It came out in 2019, and
Oh, for
in
fuck's
that-
sake!
and
Yeah.
in that movie, Taika Waititi, he directs that movie as well. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he directed it and he wrote the screenplay for it. The story was written by Christine Lunens, and it's a satirical black comedy drama
Yeah.
based on the book Caging Skies. Taika Waititi plays Adolf Hitler in that movie, and it is the funniest. Listen, don't watch that movie if you're just gonna get offended by the premise of it. It's meant to be satirical,
Well,
and the humor is meant to be dark as shit.
yeah.
But it is genuinely a very funny movie.
Well, it's one of those things where like you go into it knowing that you're watching something about like the Nazis, whether it's a comedy like that, or another one was the one Val Kilmer did back in the 80s, Tutti Frutti, where he was a spy infiltrating the Germans. Or it's actually something serious like Schindler's List, or the boy in the striped pajamas. I'm German Jewish, okay? That holds a bit of a special place because of where my mom's side of the family came from with that heritage. But I'm not getting up in arms about it, whether it's a joke or not, because I'm an adult. I can make the identification of, hey, this is meant as comedy.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's meant as a joke.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I think that was one of the best examples in the 20%, like at least in the last 10 years, where something has been meant as
I just
like
fucking opened my
off-kilter humor.
Discord of what Stephanie sent to me. She sent me a fucking bowl that has Dora in it. And she said your daughter is a Dora bowl. Yep.
That's pretty good, actually.
I had to put her on for that one. I wasn't hiding that one. Fucking amazing.
I'm just trying to find more great news. Are you as excited as I am for Christopher Nolan's next movie?
Remind me again which one it is. There's so
He's
many
making
coming out.
The Odyssey.
The Odyssey.
Yeah, and he's doing the whole film on 70mm film, which is IMAX film.
I have not heard about this one.
So they've released a trailer for it, but most notably, So Christopher Nolan is not new to the use of 70mm film. He's like the biggest proponent of IMAX styled film. The reason being is it allows for a higher resolution from the camera. It also records at a slightly higher frame rate, so you need more film for the same amount of runtime, which becomes a processing issue because then like once you're done with the film, you have more of it to edit and chop down.
Question.
It's just more.
Is this the movie that Tom Holland is supposed to be in with Matt Damon about Odysseus, the king of Ithaca, after the Trojan War is over?
Yes, the Greek myth known as the Odyssey.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yes.
I heard about the plot of this, but I didn't actually hear about the name. I didn't know that's what Christopher Nolan was calling it, so that makes sense. I have heard a little bit about this, and it definitely interested me because I'm a big history guy.
He's literally just making a movie about the myth itself, like that is the myth.
Right. Yeah.
Which is one of the. It will probably be the best iteration of that's ever been done. Greek religious mythology.
I guess Troy wasn't exactly about that.
Troy was pretty good.
Yeah, but Troy was about the Trojan War itself, not what happened after.
Correct. Yeah, it was about the fall of Troy.
Yeah.
Movies have been made about mythology before. The Odyssey has had a film about it.
Mm-hmm.
They're very rarely good, and I think lots of the time it's just due to the technology of the time.
Yeah.
I think Christopher Nolan might be the perfect director for this. So he's used IMAX film, 70mm film. So movies are commonly shot on 35mm film, which shows the aspect ratio of 16:10.
Right.
So the maximum resolution you can achieve on it is 4K. 70mm film, when you dilate that out, allows for what would be close to like 18K resolution. Like it's just the sheer size on a proper 1.43:1 IMAX display. That is the resolution you get. It'd be about 18,000 or 18K is the resolution.
Yeah.
So he's done it before in other movies, but he's done it with snippets. Like you interject the film of shots you want or like scenes you want to place more detail on. He did it in the Batman Begins movies. He did it in Interstellar, in Oppenheimer. Um, he did it in I'm trying to remember Christopher Nolan movies now. Hold on. I watched a video about this. I should have wrote it down. He did it in Inception and Tenet
Mm-hmm.
and Dunkirk. And in
Yeah.
all of those movies, it's been shot in 35 millimeter. And certain scenes where he needs to add more detail or like he needs to display a grander scale have been done in 70 millimeter.
Yeah.
And he's like, as far as directors go, he's like one of the only that's truly been on board with IMAX as a film
Yeah.
displaying avenue the whole time. Because he's just that fucking good. So I am really looking forward to seeing how the Odyssey turns out. And
You know,
that's gonna be one that I'm probably gonna go see when it comes out.
No, that's fair. That one actually looks really good. I really wish I could have seen Sisu in theaters, but they're actually making another one. Which actually brings up a good tangent topic. What do you think that was made for its time that consists as a good historical movie then? Because like you made reference of a lot of these movies failing just to due to technology of their time. I can think of a few just off the top of my head that were actually really good for when they were made and really touched the hearts of the people. But I wanna hear what you think.
Okay, we're talking about it. This doesn't have to be based on myth, just history in general.
Just history, yeah.
So
I would say probably true history though, like actually accurate.
yes.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at a list. I just typed in historical films into Google. I needed just kind of a quick list to look
Right.
at,
And which
you're
is
probably
completely
gonna
fine.
you're probably going to give me titles that I do agree with very, very vividly. Looking at this list, I'm also going to state that a lot of the modern ones, I'm going to say pretty much after about 95, they get very good. But the ones made prior to 1995 aren't great.
Right. Kind of like when movie making tech started getting better. I will
So I'm
say
just gonna
though
start
there have
ripping through
been
the list here.
there's still been quite a few in present day that have not been as great as they should have been.
That's true. I think Dunkirk, Darkest Hour, Midway, Hacksaw Ridge, Unbroken.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the Apprentice yet, but I've seen enough of the bits, like the clips of it, to know that
Yeah.
like they've done it pretty good. Vice, which is the story of Dick Cheney, was
Yep.
very good.
Yep.
Ford v Ferrari, 42, which is the movie about Jackie Robinson, was very good. Pearl Harbor, which is a movie that came out in 2001, is actually one of my favorite like World War II
That's
movies.
a really good movie. That is.
It is a very good movie. Trying to see what else we got here.
I got one to
Now I'm getting
rival.
into
I got one to rival
12
Pearl
Years
Harbor
a
for you.
Slave.
Yep, 12
was
Years a
very
Slave
good.
was good.
Saving Private Ryan. I like that a lot, although that's not
Yep.
technically true history.
There. What do you mean not true history?
I don't think that. I think that's a movie about World War II. I don't believe it's true history, is it?
It's a movie
I can't
about a
remember.
unit that had to go in and save. His name wasn't Private Ryan. It was something else. Obviously, they did it for Hollywood disclosure. But no, there was an actual unit that was sent in to a battlefield with unknown location of this man because they didn't know if he was the last surviving member of his 7 siblings, and they didn't want to put the mother through the complete and total loss of life after losing her last and only son because she had already gotten the 7 or the other 6, commissions of KIA of her sons, and it just the general who was running the show at the time thought that would just be too much grief and that they could spare one soldier from the terror of war. So they sent a unit in to go get him, and I don't know about the actual events of what happened to Tom Hanks's crew in the movie, if they're accurate or not, but I know that they actually did send a unit in to find this man who was of an unknown location in that battlefield.
Yeah. The I will give you an example of one that I think that was bad. I mean, the movie itself was good, but the rendition of the history it was trying to portray was terrible. Which whether it depends on like which
No,
version of the story you read, I guess.
Yeah, just
But
which one?
2010's Clash of the Titans
I would agree with you. If you're looking at it from just a mythological
was
fun
bad.
standpoint, it's cool.
Yeah.
But from an accurate standpoint, no.
The Gods of Egypt movie in 2016 was also very bad. I preferred Wrath of the Titans, which came out in 2012.
Yeah, but there
as
again,
the
with that
sequel to
stuff,
Clash.
we're getting into
It's not very good.
we're getting into fiction, right? Because we're talking about the mythos of those cultures rather than actually like historically accurate. The one I
They,
wanted to bring up to you that rivals Pearl Harbor in terms of its intensity and accurate, just like heart tugging emotions, Black Hawk Down.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah,
I like that movie a lot.
I did. Yeah, I watched it actually last month.
More like mythologically based movies that weren't very good. I watched. There's a 1997 TV miniseries called The Odyssey.
Yep.
Which follows Odysseus on his wanderings back to
Yep.
Ithaca.
Yep.
Following the Trojan War. It's not very good. It's just a failing of the technology. I don't think it's a failing of the story. The story was relatively correct.
Right.
Have you ever seen the movie? Have you seen 2014's Hercules with Brett Rat? I think it's Dwayne Johnson plays Hercules.
Yep.
I didn't enjoy that one either.
No, I didn't, honestly, and I think I did. So what I enjoyed about that movie was the guy who played the prophet that like proclaims his own death, like he saw his own death. I can't remember his name. He played Winston in John Wick, the hotel manager, and he was Blackbeard in Pirates of the Caribbean. I always forget his real name.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Fuck, I always forget his real name. That bugs me.
Hold on, I'm looking it up right now. Continue.
Yeah, no, well, I can't look it up because if I do, our faces will
Winston
disappear.
Scott.
Winston in John Wick. Yes, what's his real name?
Ian McShane.
Thank you. I knew it started with an M because it was like a Celtic last name, but I can never remember his. Ian McShane. He is the self-proclaimed prophet in that Hercules movie with The Rock, and
Yes, he is.
Ian my Shane. Why autocorrect?
Thanks, Steph. We appreciate
what really
efforts on finding us these hard-hitting facts.
What really kept me interested in that movie was him. It was Ian McShane's character because he was funny. He was satirical enough to keep Hercules's ridiculous antics like at a neutral state rather than just being so overpowering that people are like, "Oh, this movie's complete shit." The thing I didn't like, and I don't know how many people noticed this, they actually took some of the lore from God of War and threw that in that movie. So the scene where he's talking to the guy that had him like captured in the cells at the beginning of the movie, when he finally catches up with him, the scene where he talks about releasing his hounds on his family when he captured him because he wouldn't cooperate, and he enjoyed watching his family get eaten alive to feed his pets. That was God of War. That was from God of War. Because that's what Zeus did to Kratos' original wife and kid.
Yes.
That was the full, not copyright, but that was fully copied from God of War for that. And so immediately as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, I haven't even played the game. I know what this is from. I have lost all interest in it. And then Ian McShane's character came into play because he was supposed to die and there was an arrow coming at him when they're escaping the prison. And he goes like this because he accepts it and he just closes his eyes. And then The Rock catches it right in front of his face. And Ian looks at him and goes, "How dare you deny me my self-proclaimed death?" And The Rock just looks at him and says, "You're welcome," snaps the arrow and runs away. That got me re-interested in it because Ian McShane, I really enjoy him. He's hilarious. Um, I believe they did 2 renditions of that because I do vaguely remember that as well, Stephanie.
Um,
It was in a
yeah,
fit of
Ares is the
rage
one
or
that tricks
something.
Kratos.
Yeah, I remember seeing a rendition of it. I don't know if it was one of the concept ideas they were gonna do then, but I remember like, um, I remember reading one of the published articles about God of War where that was what happened. So I don't know if that was just like a concept at the time because they also, if you remember, with God of War Ascension, they were supposed to be portraying it as like flashbacks of Kratos' life, and he was supposed to be just a withered husk at that point, but they ended up scrapping that idea and keeping his same body design as the previous games.
Yeah.
God of War changes their
Um,
shit a lot, don't they?
no, God of War's story sticks to its beats the whole
No, I meant
time.
like with their
Like,
concepts, like what they do before they actually make the game. They go through a lot of concepts.
yeah.
um,
Um,
for me though, I tend to kind of like when it comes to historical movies, I tend to stay away from the fiction stuff when I'm theorizing which ones are best in my personal opinion, just because it's so easy to fuck up a mythological movie. You know, it can still be a great movie, but when you're looking at it from the mythologic history of that culture, it's not going to match up.
the best like historical movie that I kind like has ever really been done, I think, is 300 from a mythological standpoint.
I
The
would
300
agree with
Spartans
that.
versus the Persian
The
army.
army, yeah. And
The
see, that one would be a lot easier to keep accurate because there really isn't that much supernatural mumbo jumbo in it.
yeah, the absolute worst bit, like the worst part about that is that like years later, and I mean, I think it was like 10 years later, they made 300 Rise of an Empire,
Yeah,
which is a sequel,
yeah,
and they like here's the thing about empires. They're not made overnight, and it's never almost never very interesting how they rise.
yeah. No, it's
There's
never interesting how they
so
rise.
how do you make a 2-hour movie about the rise of Sparta more interesting? You lean into the supernatural of the gods.
Yeah,
And you know what? In the mythology around the Spartans, yes, there is absolutely some mythological to it, like some mysticism to it, but like not a great film. Yeah, 7 years after 300 came out. Um,
which I've
to
watched
be
that
fair,
movie. I
the
honestly, I'd say the most accurate part about that movie that I was really interested in was the naval warfare, which there really wasn't any because the warfare was just both sides trying to survive the fucking ocean.
yeah, um, but like lots of these movies, like older mythology-based movies,
Yeah,
um, the Colossus of Rhodes, which came out in
yeah,
1961. I remember watching that.
yeah,
It it's not good because the technology isn't there to support it. It's like a prime example of that, I think, is looking at a movie like Pacific Rim
yeah.
versus everything else that came out that year. Why does Pacific Rim look so great? Or Tron Legacy? And how did they make that movie versus
Which
their competition?
I think that movie
It's how you
unjustly suffered.
Tron Legacy, absolutely.
Yeah, that
And
was a
so did
way
Pacific
better
Rim.
movie than it got credit for.
Oh, 100%. And the reason why those movies did so good is because like Tron Legacy very specifically used um they used lots of the same techniques but modernized for modern CG
Mm,
that the original Tron used. I
right.
watched a whole video documentary about it actually. Um, and Pacific Rim used in a very similar fashion, they took like Guillermo del Toro had like clay modelers build everything and put as much detail into it as they could, because originally that's how you would have made that style of movie. Like a kaiju movie was either a guy in a suit on a soundstage or it was clay models that were manipulated in a
Right.
stop motion. That's why old Godzilla looks so choppy, because he was originally
was
a
stop motion.
prefabricated model
Yeah.
that they had to stop motion animate on a soundstage. So they took the techniques of the past and they found a way to modernize and refine them to work with modern tech. Everything in Pacific Rim is modeled down to a very specific level of detail. And then because of how kind of unique that film's premise is, they had to design and develop those things. And that's why, like, when you look at Pacific Rim, there's at about the midway point of the movie, they show you the 5 generations of Jaeger,
Yeah.
right? They show you Cherno Alpha, which is a first generation. They show you a second generation. They show you Gypsy Danger, who's third. They show you that 4th generation one from China, and they show you the 5th one, Eureka Striker from Australia.
Yeah.
And you see the evolutionary leaps and bounds. The writers and the animators and the CG artists had to work together in order to come up with those things, because they needed to come up with an organic and natural progression between them. So, like, obviously, the first ones are extremely heavy and they're very slow because they're literally just walking nuclear reactors.
Right.
And the drawbacks of that is radiation. And the second generations get lighter and faster. If I'm like, and the third generation, we went back to more traditional fuel methods. So, like, yes, the reactor is still it's still a nuclear-based reactor, but they also use diesel engines, and they use like all these advanced technologies in order to make it move faster again. And then you get to Eureka Striker, where they're like, Eureka Striker is titanium composites and carbon fiber and fission reactors. Like it's the latest and greatest that could be come up in that time given those threats.
Yeah.
And so like the progression makes sense, and then they could engineer how they worked and program that back into the model system as they developed them in the process of making the movie.
Yeah.
So what you end up with isn't something that looks out of place, because it looks like something people would have developed and they could make it look real. And like everything is designed, everything is like very intricately detailed. The hardest part about that in the documentary I watched on Pacific Rim was the water, because all of the fights in Pacific Rim, with very few exceptions, take place in the ocean, and water is the hardest thing to CG because you need so many data points for it to make it flow realistically.
Yeah.
That they had to basically reinvent how to animate and render water in order to make it, flow off the Jaegers and make it move with the kaiju and make it splash and spray and
make it realistic.
like that, make it realistic. So they had to go back. How did we do this before? And how can we improve on that now?
Right.
And that's what lots of like the modern mythological and wartime movies do, is like the really good ones. You can see that they've improved on the ways we did this before. And they've made it better going forward. And so like, what was the most recent wartime one that looked like truly good? It was like,
no, that came out a few years ago.
There's like a day and night switch. I'm not talking about like the most recent as in like this came out 3 years ago. I mean like it came out 15 years ago, and it was the turning point. You know when you see a movie and you're like, this looks way better than the last one of this type, and then going forward, all of them look better. Like Pacific Rim did that for CG.
That wasn't
for CGI.
That wasn't the Imitation Game, was it, with Benedict Cumberbatch?
Maybe. That was also a great movie.
It was.
But there was a movie that came out, I want to say it was like 2007. Wartime movies. you know what? I don't even think it wasn't. It wasn't True History, but this is the movie I'm thinking of. It was Inglorious Bastards. It came out in 2009,
Yeah,
and like it's made by Quentin Tarantino, and he's really good at implementing technology efficiently. He's
he
really good
is.
at simplifying stuff. So if you think about wartime movies that came out before 2009 and war movies that came out post 2009,
The
and the
latter is definitely better.
shift, right?
Yeah.
There are movies that force a technological advance just given how it's intended to be portrayed, right? It's like that, it's forced evolution. We're pushing it forward. Think of Jurassic Park versus every other kaiju movie. The original
It
Jurassic
was kind of
Parks
the
are phenomenal movies
but
because
right, right, yeah,
they spent so much time developing the technology required to make that movie great.
yeah,
And I really enjoy those movies. I enjoy the turning point movies where it's like every time one of these movies comes out, you know the next time you go to see one of these movies, it's going to look just as good as this or better. It's kind of like the games industry has fallen into that crux too, where like every once in a while a game comes out that's so over the top good that you know that it's going to be impossible for AAA games to step back from that. Like
yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3. It's so big and there's so much. It's and like Larian said with the development of the new Divinity game, it's going to be bigger because you know what? They can't go back. They can only meet or exceed because they set the bar here. And now the next one has to be up. It's it's a problem because eventually you run out of lateral room to grow
Yeah.
because you get limited by your technology again. And that's kind of what happens is like
I mean,
2008 we hit that ceiling, and then 2009 they found a way to modernize the system and bring the bar back down and just add another rung to the ladder above it.
I will say, like, I agree with you fully, that the movies made after Inglorious Bastards definitely, like, were the whole point was stepping up to that level that
Yeah.
Inglorious Bastards had been put
That's
to.
not to say there was nothing good that ever
Yeah,
came out
because, like,
before
I
it.
can think of a few just off the top of my head. Hamburger Hill, Big Red
Yeah.
1. Like, these were all made back in the 60s and 70s, and they're good. Not every single one was good, but they were, they were still good. It's just
Yeah.
not done by any actors that anybody other than a few of us who are genuinely interested in it would know today. So like Hamburger Hill, Big Red 1, in the 80s you've got The Patriot with what's his nuts from Braveheart. Fuck. Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson.
Yeah, so he was in The Patriot, and actually, like we already said, Black Hawk Down and Pearl Harbor. Um, I actually rather enjoy the original rendition of Midway because they remade
Yeah.
Midway a couple years ago, which is really good. I will admit, I've seen the new Midway. I actually went to theaters to see
Oh
that one.
man,
It's
the new
good.
Midway was unreal.
It is
I
good.
liked the old Midway though.
I like the old one because I feel like they put more intensity on the situation than what the new one did. The new one didn't really put a massive, intense, like strict, like oh shit, we fucked up type of feeling on the movie until the the very end, when the guy who was playing the information officer, he's the one who plays um the husband in all of the Insidious movies, and he played the bad guy in The Watchmen. Um, he was the information officer, if you remember. They didn't really put that intense, we need to do something about this now feeling until the very end of the movie when he came rushing in to the, like, was it the governor's office or the secretary's office? And said, this is the new information we just got. This is bad. We need to get our ships there now.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas that premise was set from pretty much the get-go from the original Midway. So I do enjoy the original Midway more in that sense.
I there was another movie here. Another one that they remade very recently that I remember watching the original one in school in history was All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yeah, I kind of figured that's where you were going. All Quiet on the
They
Western
just redid
Front.
that in 2022. The
Yeah,
old one, I believe, came out in like 1978,
yep.
and it
We
was
we
a
were
phenomenal
soldiers.
movie.
Yeah, that was All Quiet on the Western Front is actually one of the rare war movies that my grandma likes. Um, we Were Soldiers. That's another good one, and
Uh,
that was pre 2000, I believe.
yeah,
Um, Jarhead with Matt Damon.
Jarhead's a really good one.
That's a good one.
Fury
Fury was Fury before
with
2007. I thought that was
no, it
newer.
was 2014.
Okay, well, actually, I haven't. So
Sorry, I didn't
the
know I
thing.
was limited to pre
No, no, no,
2007.
no. That's fine. At this point, we're just naming good movies because I've watched them all because I'm
Yeah,
a big history nerd.
I love historical movies,
Oh,
and
I
the
do
next movie
too.
might be like a World War II history movie,
Yeah,
or just a World War II movie.
I actually did meet my my quota for followers, like I said on the Discord. So I think one of
One
these
other movie I
third,
really want to see that I haven't yet.
huh?
I want to see Nuremberg.
Nuremberg's
It's
it's good.
came out. It came out this last year. It's the movie where one of the
Yep,
Allied World War II psychiatrists
yep,
evaluates Nazi leadership before the Nuremberg trials,
yep.
trying to understand why they did what they did, and then I'm just reading the synopsis here. He forms a disturbing bond with Hermann Goring, who
Yep.
is largely considered to be the mastermind behind the Holocaust. It's like it is such a very interesting idea for a movie, and like that style of movie that like because I would assume I'm not looking at it, I'm just looking at the title and the synopsis. I'm going to assume it's psychological thriller or horror, right?
Um.
Because that would definitely be you'd definitely be trying, just given the context, right? Let me let me pull it up, see how wrong
So
I was, brother.
this is actually the like oh Jesus, this is like the 11th or 12th rendition of Nuremberg at this point. I believe this one actually does do a bit of a better job of being more like you said, kind of psychological thriller, trying to get in the mindset. Um, but
Psychological drama and thriller are in the
yeah,
genre tags. So yeah, I was close.
yeah, because I mean, believe it or not, actually, surprisingly enough, the first I know this because I've seen I seen like a Google Docs
Oh,
version of it, like the same way
it's
I
Michael
sent you.
Shannon.
Yep,
Hell yeah.
the same way I sent you the Top Gear show. I
Yep.
saw a long time ago a Google Docs version of the original Nuremberg movie, which was called the
Yep.
Nuremberg Trials from 1947.
Yes.
Yeah, it was black and
And
white
that was made so close. It like
because it was still so
I
fresh.
well, and I want to say it was it was something that people weren't allowed to watch for a while. Like it was
Yeah,
for a
well, 'cause
minute it was considered banned media
it
because
was
of
pretty much like
its depiction.
you might as well have just been watching the black and white recorded videotapes of the whole like interaction and like scenes of distress and all that because like there's clips in that movie of these people walking through with these big ass cameras looking at all the dead bodies in the Jewish camps. Like this isn't fabricated by Hollywood. This is actual people walking through the Jewish camps, the internment camps, and doing all that. That's pretty much why it was banned because it was too close to the truth for a subject that was still so
Yeah.
fresh and sensitive.
That's that you know what? It's funny how roundabout we've come on that because like at the it's one of those things where like it's not absence makes the heart grow fonder, but like it's the desensitization of distance,
Yeah.
where at the farther you get from something, the more okay you are with acknowledging it. So like 1947, if you were to put that and look at it through the eyes of the United States at the time, that still would have been the greatest horror we've ever seen.
At the time, yeah.
Like it, well, I mean, it still is. I'm not about to just schlub that off.
Oh no, it's still what makes it such a
But-
great horror is the fact that it actually happened. This wasn't fabricated.
Think about how many books you're aware of that came out in the time frame of 1945 to let's say 1970 that focused on understanding the Axis forces in any way, shape, or form.
And you know what's upsetting about that?
And now think about what I was thinking, what I was looking at getting my dad for Christmas when we were at the bookstore. There was a book about Operation Paperclip, which
Yeah.
is one of my favorite military operations ever conducted.
It's a good one.
because I think it should have never happened,
Um,
but it's fascinating to me that they did it and why they did it.
if you
like-
ever want to like test your dad's knowledge and see how much he can stomach in terms of like war history, you should get him a book about the sleep project. The sleep experiments.
Sleep project.
Yeah.
You're not talking about a Unit 731 thing, are you?
I think this was either right before or during the Cold War. But what it was if I remember correctly, it's Russian. A bunch of scientists had the idea of what if we took people and put them in a room that has no windows, no doors essentially, and it's a blackout room, no lights, nothing. They're deprived of sunlight and sleep for, was it 30 days? And see what happens.
So this was a Russian experiment.
Yeah, okay, so I was right. It was Russian. I was remembering correctly.
Part of this, so most commonly now it's known as a creepypasta. There is some reality to it, but it was an experiment apparently set in between the 40s and 1951.
Yeah.
Where they had 5 captured prisoners and they put them in basically totally enclosed rooms that would,
Yep.
and then force fed in a stimulant gas for 15 days.
Yep.
The more I read about this, the more that absolutely this was just a creepypasta. This probably might not have been real.
No.
Um,
No, I read about this years ago. There was a book about it. It was pretty fucked up because one of the scientists finally came forth and talked about it. And then it was actually spoken about on Creepypasta, like you said. But everybody started thinking, oh, because he did it, that's where it must have come from.
Yeah, so it was posted on a creepypasta wiki in 2010.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah, 5 political prisoners in a Soviet lab were given an air stimulant to prevent sleep, leading to extreme paranoia, violent acts, and horrific transformations. So the creepypasta bit is the transformations.
Yeah. Started adding more like horror-esque to it.
Yeah.
But no, I read the thing about the actual experiments, which don't let the creepypasta thing blind anybody. These experiments were still very fucked up in their nature. Like in what they were intended for, because let's start with the basis. They were using prisoners of war. Like that already is against every Geneva Convention out there.
There's a movie that came out in 2015.
Yeah.
That it's a short film that came out about this. Funded by the
I
Soviet
just
Union during World
don't
War II.
remember what it was called.
The Russian sleep experiment
Okay, it literally was just called that.
is what it's called. That, and yeah, and it's very much from what I can see based on the creepypasta.
The horror stuff.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
So like,
just because of the last line here, all goes wrong as the gas has unexpected effects on the subject.
yeah, exactly. The movie,
Because
the
what
short
they were
story.
trying to do what the Russians were trying to accomplish is based off what I have read and have understood so far. I have a YouTube video queued up that I'm going to watch when we're done this.
Fair.
Is they were trying to develop basically like a nerve gas that would remove the need for their soldiers to sleep in order to gain an advantage over their enemies.
Yeah. Yeah, trying to make their
Because
own version of a
that
super
doesn't
soldier.
need sleep.
Yeah.
A soldier that doesn't need sleep is an indomitable being.
Yeah.
Because you remove the brain's requirement for sleep, and that way you can work them harder. And the Russians love doing that.
Well,
You get a whole extra half a potato if you can work through the night.
what they weren't expecting though with it was the fact of after, was it day 7, all of the subjects started experiencing severe psychosis and fits of manic behavior, and one of them even went so insane that he ended up because of the like stimulant they were spraying in there, his brain became so like frazzled and fried that he started eating his own flesh. Like that happens in experiments when it's something this fucked up, because people's brains break, right? Their psyche breaks, and we become literally no better than drooling creatures.
This is not the first time that studies have been done, or like testing has been done on living beings in order to test. Originally, they were done to test the effects on sleep deprivation.
Right.
Which is probably how they got to, what if we could develop a gas to prevent the requirement for sleep?
Yeah.
Sleep deprivation is a chemical imbalance.
Yeah.
So in 1894, there was a female Russian physician and scientist who studied sleep-deprived puppies.
Yep.
And for puppies, it was fatal after a few days. And they would develop like lesions in the brain. In 1898, an Italian physiologist pair would basically did the same to dogs.
Yeah.
The dogs would last about 2 weeks, and they learned it had nothing to do with food consumption. But in most of these cases, in 1898, the first one was done on humans and sleep-deprived dogs by keeping them in metallic cages to avoid fatigue. The dogs would survive about 2 weeks, and then the degenerative changes were observed in their brains.
Yeah.
And then confounded by motor exhaustion or intense sensory stimulation. And this all kind of stopped in the 19th century because it was just widely accepted that sleep was a vital function to the brain.
Yeah.
Like removing it too much would cause the development of insomnia.
There was actually one more that happened during that like 19th century period that
what a
wasn't
fun Christmas episode this has been.
It wasn't marked down in the history fails because the guys actually
me talking about why I don't like the holidays. It's
fair.
Nobody's like trying to bring it back around. Like movies are great.
This kid, he was 17 at the time. The reason why this experiment he conducted wasn't posted in like the greatest sleep deprivation fails of history is because he actually survived. He's still alive. But have you ever heard of Randy Gardner?
Yes.
Yeah, the name sounds familiar. So Randy Gardner, when he was 17, which was 1963 going into 1964, he conducted his own sleep experiment where he stayed awake for 11 days. And that was... Yeah, it was conclusive to about 264 hours and 24 minutes. But that was purely just to break the previous world record. And he did suffer a lot of backlash mentally and physically.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah, you would.
But he survived, though. He's still alive. He's 79 right now. and he is currently living in San Diego.
That man would be the most fucked up.
Oh man, I don't know if your brain would ever properly recover from that. Because yeah, the previous record was 260 hours held by Tom Rounds. Apparently that record was broken in 1997. It doesn't say who though. Oh, held by Robert McDonald at 18 days and 21 hours. That's 453 hours and 40 minutes. The reason why this is no longer a record in the Guinness Book of World Records, though, is
It's to
because
stop for people from trying to chase it.
for safety reasons.
Yeah.
Yes, because
Yeah,
I'm not
absolutely.
I'm not 100% sure, but I believe Robert McDonald, when he finally did get rest, his brain did give out, and he's either a vegetable right now or he did pass away. I do not remember which,
Insane.
but I remember it's one of those. Yeah.
I've done some pretty long stints on my feet before, and I can tell you that they've never been enjoyable. And it doesn't take that long for things to start backfiring. Like, and it's one of those things where I don't think it has anything to do with your ability to resist or your
Mhm.
ability to like to hold out. Resilience is no factor in it.
Yeah.
Eventually, you just start having issues.
Well, and I guess
Most
it also
notably,
depends on the kind of situation too.
I remember after one time I had been awake for it would have been 24 hours at that point. Like I'd been awake for a whole day. I just had not stopped. It just kept going, kept going, kept going. Tons of coffee, tons of
Right,
Sprite.
right.
And I was driving back, and the person who was in my passenger seat at one point like shook me because I had been talking to someone else and like having a full conversation with them, and they were only hearing one side of the conversation. They were only hearing my side of it the
Oh.
whole time. And I had apparently been doing that for about an hour. Because after 24 hours, my brain had no longer been able to maintain awareness. So highway hypnosis had taken me, and I started to hallucinate someone I knew in the passenger seat that wasn't the person in the passenger seat.
Right.
The longest I've ever been able to stay awake in one run is 72 hours.
And how
And
did you feel after that?
I have not been able to rely on my body's adrenaline factor pretty much ever again.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because after 2 days straight, you run out of adrenaline. There
Well,
was
yeah,
just nothing left in the tank.
your endorphins can only do so much for so long.
For the uninitiated at home, please never try this. At least this is just my experience.
Full disclaimer.
Full disclaimer, this is my experience. Please don't try it at home. I am not a doctor. None of this can be taken as legal advice.
We cannot save you.
We cannot save you. I don't know why. I think I was working is what was happening. But after the second day, I was probably about 12 hours from the end of my run on this. And you just start to get tired. And then it happened multiple times beforehand, but every time it's like the saying you got a second wind. The second wind is your body's adrenaline response kicking in to keep you moving because you're not in a place that's safe. So you cannot fall asleep here.
Right.
Because if you do, you don't know what's going to happen to you. So your body's trying to tell you you have to get somewhere you can rest.
Right.
If you keep pushing through that, eventually you will run out of adrenaline because your body is too tired to make more. And you are not putting yourself in a position where you can rest. So it will just continue to tap itself until there's nothing left in the tank. If you ever run out of adrenaline, generally speaking, you go into shock. And you can exist in shock for a long time without dying if you don't have a fatal injury, but going into shock will short your adrenaline response.
Yeah.
So your body cannot use it properly. The side effect of that was that I gained the ability to utilize my adrenaline to my benefit, which was really cool when I started working out and going to the gym. The downside of that is I can't use it almost ever. It's like a very specific set, like, and it doesn't kick in when I get tired anymore unless
Right.
I'm absolutely in danger, like, or I'm in a place where if I lose consciousness, I will die. And
So
it's what
mine,
happened is it doesn't kick in on its own anymore.
correct.
I have to know I need it, and like basically it's like my body is trying to prove that it's required in this moment.
Yeah. I
Um,
I actually, mine's pretty similar to you, but I have you beat by about half a day. So,
I
well,
don't envy you at all for that.
no, I don't either. Honestly, I would not wish
Yeah,
this
it's
on
not
my
a great
worst
feeling,
enemy.
Steph.
86 hours is mine.
Jesus
Sorry,
Christ.
84, 12 hours. 72 to 12, that's 84. 84 hours. So what happened was 2 days before Hope had gone to the hospital to have Tegan. Um, I was, I got up, went to work. It was a normal day. Come home that night after going to the gym, and Hope is having some severe pains, cramps. She's thinking that it's about to blow, like water's about to break. So we go to the hospital. We spend the night in the waiting room the whole time just for them to come and check and say, no, this is normal, but we've noticed you're not dilating anymore, so we might be calling you soon to come in and we'll start trying to either, manually dilate you or just do a C-section. So
We'll get the
we
process rolling.
exactly. So we finally get home about 9 hours later. I have to go to work in an hour, so I don't even go to bed. I just stay up. I go to bed. I go to work, and I am on my way home, and I'm on my way back to the shop to drop off the work truck so I can go home, and I get a call from Hope that the hospital called. They're ready to take her in already. Okay, all right, let's do this. So we go. I get back to the shop, drop off the truck, go home, grab her. We go to the hospital, and we sit there in the room until about 8:30 the next morning, while she's having massive contractions every 5 minutes, pretty much, but they're lasting 2 minutes at a time. So not a lot of break time there, constantly all night, because they don't want to do a C-section yet. They want to try manual dilation even though she's going through all this pain. Her body's obviously contracting and it's not doing what it's supposed to do because it's in a fight or flight response. Let's just get the ball rolling on C-section. They won't. They spend the time to try and do an epidural, fucked it up severely, and then after about 7 tries, I finally had enough because I'm running on zero sleep now in about 56 hours. And so I kick the nurse out and I told her to go get the actual fucking anesthesiologist that's supposed to be doing this. He comes in, taps her spine, and we find out that the epidural doesn't work on her. So that's great. No pain relief for Hope. So fast track, it's 11:30 at night. She's still sitting there. This is day 3 now for me, 72 hours. And she is still sitting there in lots of pain, kicking, screaming, just wanting it done and over with. At this point, they have traumatized her because they're just moving slow, not doing anything. I finally had enough, and I almost dragged the male nurse that I was talking to over the front counter just outside our room there, because at the nurse's station. And I said, you go get the fucking papers for a C-section or else I'm leaving here in cuffs. And so he goes and gets the C-section papers. Hope is literally sitting here trying to sign it while she is vibrating in pain because Hope does not have a high pain threshold at all. Honestly, the girl, God rest her soul, can't even handle breaking a nail without crying because it hurts so bad. I don't know how she survived this. So kudos for that kind of thing. But so she signs the papers, and then they tell us, oh well, the anesthesiologist went home for the night, so we can't do this till tomorrow anyways. And I was like, no, You're fucking going to get him. I don't care if he has to drive back halfway back across the city. He's coming to do this now. He knew this was happening. He should not have gone home. That's on him, not us. We're not going to be punished because he's a moron. So they call him up. He comes all the way back, which took him about another 3 hours. And at this point, I'm sitting in the waiting room just outside the operating room. They have like the recovery room. And I'm waiting for them to tell me that Hope is set up on the table so I can go in and sit with her while they do the C-section. And I just finally, like, my adrenaline had just finally slowed down enough that I started falling asleep. And then the nurse comes and gets me and says, you can go in with her. And I'm like, fuck. So I nearly fall flat on my face when I get up from the chair. I'm bracing myself on the wall as I'm dragging myself into the operating room. As soon as I see everything set up on the operating table, that fear hits you, you know? And because like it scares the shit out of you. Operations are scary. Surgeries are scary. And I saw Hope sitting there shaking because she's in so much pain. And so my adrenaline immediately kicked in again. And I just kind of sat there just mind numb at this point because now it's like 5:30 in the morning on day 4 for me. And Tegan's born. We sit in the recovery room together for another 4 hours. Once everything's situated, we finally go back to the room that we were in that has a pull-out couch for me to sleep on. And I stayed up with Tegan for another 5 or 6 hours on top of that. And the nurse came in and saw me and she's like, have you slept at all? And I said, no, I haven't slept in almost 4 days now, ma'am. And she's like, okay, we have a thing where we can put her in her like roll around crib and we can keep her out of the nurse's station for you guys if you want to get some sleep. And they were willing to help with diaper changes and everything until we were ready to go home, but they wanted to keep Hope for another day to make sure that she was okay. So I laid down on the couch and put my sleep apnea machine on at about, this would have been about 3 p.m. on the 4th day. I woke up the next night when Hope was ready to go home. Yeah, I slept for over 24 hours. And I did not feel great when I woke up because I had been from the adrenaline.
I know you feel like hell warmed over.
From the adrenaline,
it's
I had been constipated the whole time. I hadn't really been drinking or eating anything. It just nothing was flowing in my body properly, and it was not good. Honestly, yeah, I really wanted to die. I felt like I was dying.
I remember before I did 3 days straight, I used to be able to do like lots of like big trips in the truck or the car, driving all day, no problem. This is probably something that I'm gonna say it, you're gonna be like, yeah, no, I get that. I woke up yesterday at 4 in the morning. I got home at 11 o'clock at night. I went to bed. I died in bed.
Yeah.
I woke up this morning at 8 and I felt worse than I've ever felt before.
Yeah.
And that is
the whole fucking sleep fatigue thing is real.
And I get that every time if I do a day longer than 16 or 18 hours now, that's pretty much probably closer to like longer than 18. 16, I'm still fine. But once I hit that 18-hour mark of consciousness and moving,
your body
and then I finally get a chance to sleep, it just shuts down. And that's it. I woke up this morning and I was coughing. I haven't been sick in months. Everybody I know has been sick.
Yeah.
Not me. I held out until I did that trip yesterday. And then I woke up this morning and my throat's been getting worse as we've been doing this.
Right.
Because it's just drying out. But I woke up this morning, it was just dry hacking. Like throat's dry, feels like it's closing up. I'm laying in bed like, Jesus, take me now.
I've had
let me sleep for the rest of the day, and I'll explain this to Kelly tomorrow.
Or sleep. Let me
Or
sleep for the rest of my life.
let me sleep for the rest of the time. It's yeah, when I do like when I do time attack now, I have to very carefully plan my day
Yeah.
to drive there so that I am fully functional for the next 3 days.
Yeah.
And then I do that Sunday. And then the Sunday I wake up, usually you wake up at 7 or 8 at the track because driver's meeting is 9. Track goes hot at 9:30. And then you're like from the moment I get out of the truck Sunday morning till the moment I get home is usually 19 hours because you're up and you got to prep the car. You got to make sure everything is ready for racing for the day. Get your gear on, go to the driver's meeting, you do practice. The problem with racing is it's high adrenaline. I've gotten much better about controlling my adrenaline.
Well, yeah, like
I can stop it
once you get
now,
used
which
to
is
it
nice.
and like take a couple deep breaths while you're on the
Yeah.
track, you realize it. You calm down.
Yeah,
I know, 'cause
but it is
that's
still
how
a
it used
physical
to
activity.
be. That's how it used to be when I
Yeah.
started drag racing. Like when I would line up, before it would go green or even start lighting up, I would start breathing heavy and physically white knuckling everything.
I only get that way now with like the first time I do a new discipline or like
That's
the
fair.
first time I go back. Like when we went drag racing on my car, like my car died in the pits
Yeah,
and then it started
your
again
car
on like
got
in the
so
tech
fucking
lane.
hot.
And then it was fine. And that first pass, I was really just worried that it was going to blow up on half track. And then after that, it was good. But like that first time I do a new like high intensity sport or activity, I get really like the rush hits me. Then after that, there's just nothing at all.
Yeah.
With racing, it's the pure physicality of it. I only run the Sunday mornings, but I still get about 2 hours of track time total, broken up over 5 hours. And that up, then down, up, then down, then up again. And then I come off the track and I go straight onto the trailer. Trailer's hooked up to the truck. It's pretty much ready to go.
Yeah.
Car on, strapped, throw everything into the car or into the truck, and then load the ramps, say goodbye to everybody, maybe grab some lunch if they've got lunch on the go.
Mhm.
And then it's onto the highway. And here starts the 10-hour drive home. I've been up since 7.
Yeah.
It's now 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm
Yeah.
getting home at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. This last time I got back, and I had the trailer that I borrowed off of our friends. I drove it to Prince Albert and back because I got back and the adrenaline hit. Like I had a rush in the last hour, and I knew that would carry me for about 6.
Right.
And so I got back and I was like, all right, cool, let's get the car off the trailer. Let's take the trailer straight back. Because if I wait to take the trailer back tomorrow, it's not making it back tomorrow.
Right.
Like when I get home tonight, I'm gonna sleep 12 hours straight, and then I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna have to go to work.
Yeah.
I don't want to take the trailer with me, and I don't want to have to drive the trailer 3 hours north and 3 hours back at the end of my workday.
Right.
Like I've learned now the old man skill of careful planning. Like if I don't do this right, I will put myself out more than I can recover. And that's the worst. Because I have friends that are older than I am that can still do it. And I was talking to my buddy, like you've met him, Backlash, about this. And he was like, "Oh, you just keep going." And I was like,
is
I
that
wish
all
I
it
could,
is?
buddy.
You just keep
Listen,
going.
And Backlash is notoriously apathetic. He has no empathy.
Yeah.
He's a feral raccoon. He means well. He's a good dude. He's just not very empathetic. He doesn't get it. He can't relate to people. If it's happening to him, it's real. If it's not happening to him, it's not. He's one of those guys. But like we were talking about it when I got back from Gimli this last run that I made for racing, and I was just like, yeah, like I got home and I dropped the trailer off and I came back and I was wiped. He was like, oh, so now you've driven that weekend with the same amount of mileage that weekend is for me. And I was like, yes, but I had to stop and start more than you did. So like, absolutely, the mileage count was the same. I'm not discounting that, but I drove 9.5 hours home, and then I had to stop to unload the car, and then I had to load the trailer back up, and then I had to drive it 2 hours to drop the trailer off, stop and unload the trailer, and then drive 2 hours home
Yeah.
and stop, and then I could stop for real. So it's like you have to keep yourself going the whole time. I was like, you have it a little better because you drive 13 hours from the track and you go home. The only time you stop is when you need fuel. You need fuel as much as I do. So like
Yeah.
this and that are the same, but they're not identical. So I was like,
There's
that wipes me
circumstances,
out.
yeah.
And he was like, I still go to work the next morning. And I was like, yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
But I had to take the morning off because I wasn't waking up for 8. Like it just wasn't happening, right?
Yeah.
I am getting old, I guess is the moral of the story. But that's not what we're talking about. It's the Christmas episode. On that bombshell, I think we're gonna end. We're getting old. It's happening.
Faster than we'd like.
Faster than we'd like. Some of us faster than others.
Yeah.
I got TB. Thank you all for coming hanging out. Sorry we
Yep.
got a little depressing there in the middle and a bit at the end. That is a real bummer.
The holiday season's a good time to get real.
The holiday season's a great time to get real. Don't worry, for New Year's we'll make it better by talking about how shit this year was.
Yep, the witch
And
is
how
dead.
great next year's gonna be. The witch is dead. Thank you all for coming, for listening, for hanging out, for finding us our hard-hitting facts. Steph, we appreciate it. We hope you have a great Christmas season.
Yep.
You get to spend it with people you love.
Yep.
You get to eat some great food.
Yep.
You get $20 because
Yep.
let's be real, $20 is $20. You know what I mean? And we will catch you guys all for the New Year's extravaganza.
Yep.
I think maybe we see if I was talking about this earlier when I was trying to kill for time until you came back. Maybe we bring Blue and Rookie back and we do like we do a year roundup with the gang and then we play
Yeah.
a game or something. I was kind of hoping Rookie would be here so because I was like maybe we would play Garfield Kart.
Well, yeah, but the odds that we're
Um,
not going to talk to him before next podcast is like impossible.
I'll probably message him tomorrow when I get off work at lunch.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You know what though? We will see everybody tomorrow night because I imagine you're probably going to come hang out again for the chill World of Warcraft stream.
I'm at my dad's tomorrow night, so it depends on how late you're on.
I don't give a fuck. Bring Grandpa Steve on.
Grandpa Steve doesn't have a computer. Grandpa Steve needs no computer. He has a stone tablet, a chisel, and his hammer. Leave that man in the Mesozoic where he belongs.
Give him his iron fucking hammer and
Yeah, Blue, we were talking about maybe doing a group wrap along for the year.
Yeah,
Do a 2025 year-end podcast and
we'll do
and maybe a little
2025
Garfield Kart
summary
after.
and then
Yeah.
finish it off with some
We're gonna talk about how
multiplayer
terrible
game.
this year was, how great next year's gonna be in comparison, and then we'll play some games and we'll ring in the
And
new year right.
Right after we
I'm gonna
say
get
that tomorrow's
so
or
Absolutely hammered.
yeah, right after we say that next year's gonna be the greatest year of all, I'm gonna play Benny Hill's song.
Yeah.
Biggest lie ever
Welcome
told.
Welcome to Comic Relief. But yeah, we will catch you all next Wednesday, December 31st. Skipping a whole month
Fuck January.
for the New Year's Eve extravaganza where we ring in the death of the Wicked Witch of this year.
Yep.
But for now, I've been Chris. My friend here has been Will. Don't forget to catch all the high octane content here on twitch.tv/Sergeant Cobra 98.
Man's falling
Love you,
hard.
bye.
It's falling hard. Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.